Tech, we saw Virginia play horribly at Georgia Tech, but they rallied to beat NC State. Who knows? In the rain, maybe a sloppy track. Michael Vick's ankle not 100%. What do you think?
I think it's a tough night for Michael Vick to try to get back on track. You imagine the pain that he already has. Now he has to deal with the slippery conditions. I think because of that, you're going to see Lee Suggs more involved tonight with the weather conditions. And to be honest with you, I think that's been Virginia Tech's strength offensively. The offensive line comes off the ball very well in drive blocking, but they don't do very well in pass blocking. Lee Suggs, big night running the ball. I think Virginia Tech wins this game impressively.
I think so, too, but I tell you another area. Virginia Tech is going to eat them up with special teams. Bad weather, special teams are especially important, and that's what Tech does the best. Tech special teams wins this one.
And I think mental focus is a big issue. Obviously, they have the edge. They have Michael Vick back. He wants to play well. He's been eager for this showcase game. 19 plays in the last 2.5 games, but I just have to be shown they can handle all that stuff. The BCS at large bid, the feeling they might be left out at 10-1. Frank Beamer to Carolina. Is Tech going to come up with the money?
Michael Vick has to be careful trying to do too much. He's done that at times this year, and because he's so excited for this game, he's got to pull back a little bit, let the game come to him.
Reese Davis, Sports Center in-game at halftime, but we're sending it off now to Virginia and Virginia Tech. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, Adrian Karsten in Blacksburg. Ron?
A state divided, loyalty decided, bragging rights, and much, much more on the line. A 2.5-hour drive, a mere 150 miles. A return to the spotlight. The battle line's been drawn.
Showstopper here today, baby.
An in-state rivalry when the Virginia Cavaliers come calling on the 5th-ranked Virginia Tech Hokies from Blacksburg. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin, and welcome to the Battle of the Commonwealth of Virginia. It's Virginia Tech taking on the Cavaliers. And if you think you had your plate full on Thursday, think about all the things that could come out of this football game tonight. One, if Virginia Tech wins, will they be a part of the BCS? Secondly, quarterback Michael Vick. He's a redshirt sophomore. With a lot of talk that he might go out early. This could be his last game as a Hokie. And how about the Hokies head coach, Frank Beamer, being wooed by the folks down at North Carolina? Will this be his last game to coach here in Blacksburg? And across the field, well, they have talked about retirement. George Welch says he will have a statement next Monday. We could have a lot of changes after this meeting tonight. Mike Gottfried and Adrian Karsten standing by as we battle for the Cup of the Commonwealth after we return from these messages.
Hurry into Sonic for a one-of-a-kind special you just can't get anywhere else. Try an extra-long coney covered with thick, meaty chili and lots of cheddar cheese, together with a large order of our famous hot and crispy tater tots. You know how much you love them, and you're going to love them even more now, because our Coney and Tots special is at a special low price.
Sonic America's driving.
Look what's back. Apple pie filling and real bits of crust blended into our delicious apple pie shake. Try one before they're gone.
I want to ask you a question. Audrey, do you remember me ever getting sick?
I can't remember.
Don't you think that's kind of weird? Not remembering one cold, or a fever, or a sore throat. What do you think it means? I've come to believe a rather unbelievable possibility. Are you ready for the truth?
Unbreakable, rated PG-13. Now playing.
In this spirited in-state rivalry, the last contest in Blacksburg became a piece of history. The Hokies rolled early to a commanding 29-7 halftime lead. But the Cavaliers would rally to defeat Tech in the waning minute in what would become Virginia's greatest comeback victory to date. But another comeback is in the making. Michael Vick is set to return and has his sights set on the Cavaliers. Virginia Tech as we look from inside the tunnel, taking the field. And always a touching moment for those seniors, the last time that they take the home field for the last home game, whether they're going on to play in a bowl game or not. Tonight, the battle, as we said, for the Cup of the Commonwealth as the Cavs are in town to take on the Hokies. And, of course, a lot of questions to be answered in this one tonight. Michael Vick. Well, they are very... Meyer, let's say this. Meyer did an outstanding job in his stead, but Vick is healthy and is set to go in this ball game tonight. Mike, you saw the lens on the camera just a moment ago. The weather definitely a factor in this one. As you see, 28 degrees is the wind chill. The wind gusting up to 15 miles an hour. It definitely could be a factor in this thing tonight.
Yeah, I really think it will be, Ron, because the wind is the biggest factor, and you're trying to field position the game all the way as offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, and a look for a lot of fumbles.
Let's talk about what happens as far as Vick is concerned. What do you look for? How will they utilize him tonight?
Well, we're not sure if he's 100% or not, but I think Michael Vick will run the option, but he'll hurt Virginia more throwing the football. I think if they do run the option, he'll pitch the ball a little bit more and carry it.
Since we were here last, Lee Suggs not only has emerged, to me, he's the most valuable player of this Hokie team. Talk about what a great year he's had.
I think the winner will come from the team that runs the ball the best, and Lee Suggs may be the best back on this field, although Antoine Womack for Virginia is a very fine tailback.
He has been outstanding. Now let's talk about the quarterbacks of Virginia. George has been hedging all week. Is it going to be the guy on the left or the guy on the right here?
I think it's going to be Bryson Spinner, the young quarterback, and he has more mobility than Dan Ellis. He may be able to get away from Bud Foster's defense and the blitzes this evening.
The head coaches in this one, George Welch, 14th straight winning season. The head coach at Virginia. And as we mentioned, he has talked of retirement. This gentleman here, what a job Frank Beamer has done here at Virginia Tech. 5-6 or 5-8 against Virginia since being the head coach here. David Green prepares to kick it off. Andre Kinnick is the deep man for Virginia Tech. You'll see that 1,000 times tonight. People blowing on their hands. It is very, very raw. This kick going to go 8 yards deep in the end zone. And let's check on the sideline, Adrian Karsten.
Ron, you need to know that the condition of this field is going to play a role, however big or small, in the outcome of this game. First of all, if you're Michael Vick or Andre Davis running on bad legs, it's going to be hard enough. But running the offense between the hashes, Ron, they're going to be on more sand than they are dirt. The idea is the sand absorbs all the moisture in the field in those potholes. Yeah, the field drains well, but that's the problem, because as the water drains off beyond the hash marks and they try to run up the field, something's going to have to give. Both coaches want to score early with dry footballs, get a foothold, because the conditions are only going to get worse.
First play from scrimmage. Vick, play action. He rolls it out and dumps the pass off and has got it to his running back, Jarret Ferguson. Ferguson bounces off a tackler at the 40, takes it all the way out to the 45-yard line. Isabel makes the stop on a 25-yard play. So Michael Vick showing right there that he is just about all the way back. Newport News, Virginia, his home, and the folks that he has surrounding him, Suggs, Ferguson, who we just saw, Emmett Johnson, and Ernest Wilford gets the start tonight. Browning Wynn, the tight end, very much a part of this Hokie offensive unit. Hands the ball to Suggs, and on his first carry of the night, he'll take it for very short yardage as Pope makes the tackle. The offensive line, a veteran group, an outstanding. Lambeau, Lair, DeMasi, Redding, and Cadella. Talk about who they face off with, Mike.
Ron, that's a good offensive line, and this defensive line has to move. Monsanto Pope is the best defensive lineman. He made the last tackle.
2nd down and 9. Again from the I formation. Vick, play action. Running up into the pocket, throws the pass incomplete at the 35-yard line. And that may be proving the point of Mike Gottfried right there, and the fact that he did not take off and run, that he threw the ball. The linebackers for Virginia, Thweet, Isabel, who made that tackle on the 25-yard run, and Green. And in the secondary, they line up like this. It is Sproul and Hawkins at the corners, and Newby and Evans at the safeties. From the shotgun, He rolls back the opposite direction of where he throws, has it complete to number 26, Sean Witten, and he's going to be short of the first down.
Michael Vick took a hit, Ron, from Byron Thweet, the linebacker. They blitzed Michael Vick. They're not sure if he's going to run the football and scramble out of there. I believe he's going to try to hurt you throwing the football first tonight. There's the hit by Thweet.
So Robert Peasley, the redshirt freshman out of Pulaski, kicks it away to James Johnson. Gets a good pass and a line drive kick. This spiral will never take off, but it bounces away from the deep man and is going to go dead inside the 5-yard line. How about that? 48 yards in the kick, and Virginia is going to take it over extremely deep in their own territory. So the starter, Bryson Spinner, 6'2", 225, a freshman out of Alexandria, Virginia. And behind him, he's going to have Womack, outstanding, over 800 yards this year. Patrick Washington, the fullback, Baber, the tight end, and Coffey and McMullen are the wide receivers.
And Ron, Virginia Tech's thinking turnover right here on this series.
Crowd comes to life, trying to get that defense to get that turnover that Mike Godfrey just mentioned. From an I formation. Gives it to the tailback, Womack. Gets hit behind the line, and the first man who made contact was David Pugh, slowing him down, and then Adibi finished off the tackle. The offensive line for the Virginia Hokies. Or Virginia Cavaliers, I beg your pardon. Jones, Lawson, Keith, Routson, and Brad Barnes. And they face
a good defensive front, young defensive front. Bud Foster lost 8 starters. Adibi's the best defensive lineman. Look for him to pressure Spinner all evening.
Early on, when we came up here to do the Tech game that was canceled, they were talking about Adibi they thought was really going to be a good one. Rolls the pocket, now under pressure, loses the ball. Was that a forward pass? Yes. The official right there, and he said his arm was going forward. Ben Taylor was the man who was pressuring.
Watched a lot of football games over the weekend where there's a wet field, and you have heard announcers talk about the hands of the quarterbacks, big-handed quarterbacks, but this just gets away from Bryson Spinner. Ben Taylor in pressuring him, and again, this is what Virginia Tech likes to do. They like to come after you and turn the football over here.
Third down. They need to take it out to the 14.5-yard line to keep this drive going. Again from the I formation, they hand it off. Womack, pass 5, pass 10. He's loose in the secondary. At the 35, cuts back at the 45, and now the foot race is on, and he's finally tackled inside the 45-yard line of Virginia Tech. Willie Pyle saved a touchdown.
Ron, that was big, and at the end of that run, Antoine Womack knows that Virginia Tech tries to strip the ball from behind. Good blocking right there, but watch him at the end of the run because he feels somebody coming up from behind him. He knows he's got to protect that football. It's Willie Pyle, and they try to strip the ball. Antoine Womack with a good run, the smart hits he play at the end of the run.
George was thinking we're going to have to punt into this mess, and he gets a 51-yard run. Now they split the I, they offset it, flags are down, and there's movement at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be false start against the offense. The linebackers for Virginia Tech, Summers, Housewright, and Taylor. And in the secondary, again, it's a veteran group. 23 interceptions by the defense this year. Hardy and Whitaker are the cornerbacks. Willie Pyle leads the team with 6. And Corey Bird, an outstanding rover, senior player, one of the big leaders on this football team.
Yeah, Corey Bird's very good. He makes a lot of tackles behind the line of scrimmage.
Virginia Tech this time, now they back off 1. They had 10 people in the box just a second ago, but they back it off. They only have 8 right now. They give it to Womack. Tries to move misdirection, breaks by a tackler, and is going to take it close to the 40-yard line. Billy Hardy will make the stop, and you could see why Womack has made such an impression on everybody that they have faced.
Ron, a late penalty, and it's going to be called, I believe, on Jake Housewright, number 41. Now, what happened, and there's a little scuffle, and I think the official saw the second hit, and it's going to go against Virginia Tech unless they call them on both. Nope, they got the second hit, and that's what you always tell your players. don't respond to somebody who hits you or says something, because it's always the second one that's going to get caught. But I was going to talk about Womack. Womack has changed this field position around. You talked about how much people regard him as a running back. He's second in the ACC in rushing. He's averaging almost 90 yards rushing per game.
He's got 61 already tonight on 3 carries with that 51-yarder. So the personal foul penalty against Virginia Tech, and the Cavaliers have the ball just outside the 25-yard line. Delay, Womack. Not much there, and then he spins off a tackler and takes it for a couple of more yards down to the 21. A DB there defensively.
Ron, in the last 3 games, Virginia Tech's defense has given up through the air 10 touchdown passes and almost 1,000 yards passing. Now they've been hit with big plays by the last 3 opponents. So what is Virginia with the weather? They have run the ball successfully on this drive right at the Tech front.
Second down and 5. Womack again. Left side, breaks it open, has the first down, runs into his own blocker, who actually slowed him down enough to make the tackle. It is 1st and goal, Virginia.
Yeah, but Virginia's offensive line is winning the battle here. Josh Lawson, Jermise Jones, Dustin Keith.
Also Coffey, the wide receiver,
with a good block, number 88. And they're opening it up, and they're just handing the ball to Antoine Womack, and he's taking over this early in the first quarter. And this is good when you have a freshman quarterback to take some pressure off of him.
A little surprised at this. Tyree Foreman comes in at tailback, has not handled the ball, gets it here, goes to the left side, bounces it to the outside, and that's the reason. Look at that quickly. Touchdown, Virginia.
Yeah, Foreman averages, Ron, almost 6 yards per carry, and the penalty on Virginia Tech and the field position they had, they lost. And Virginia goes up quickly in this football game.
How about 96 yards?
Yeah, Tyree Foreman just bounces inside. Now he shows you some speed going outside. Bad angle right there by Roniel Whitaker, number 2.
Well, Green to attempt the extra point. The only reason I mentioned I was a little surprised at the substitution, because on a cold, wet night, when you haven't handled the ball down close to the goal line, but they took it outside. Extra point is good, and a surprise right now in Blacksburg in the first 5 minutes of this one. 7-0. UVA jumps out on top. So let's take a break.
This week in Suzuki Heisman Highlights. This year's MVP has got to be the V6 Grand Vitara by Team Suzuki. Check out this play. With his V6 quad cam engine and ladder box frame, he tackles that mountain like it was an anthill. That's power. With that kind of season, it's no wonder the Grand Vitara has been named the official automobile of the Heisman Trophy.
Now at your Suzuki dealer, vote for the Heisman candidate of your choice. Enter to win a V6 Grand Vitara and other great Suzuki products.
For every job, there's a hard way, or there's the Dremel way. The Dremel rotary tool with more than 150 available accessories. For every problem, there's a Dremel solution.
I love the way you always treat me tenderly. But darling, most of all, I love how you love me.
There is no danger, however, as the satellite's now expected to smash into Quasi, an uninhabited part of the Australian outback. Scientists say that...
Do you, Yahoo?
Don't touch that!
Navigate the maze. Escape the dungeons. Slay the dragons.
Don't you think that's just a little bit out of our league?
Dungeons and Dragons. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, December 8th.
7-0, and we have just about played 5 minutes in this ball game. 7 plays, 96 yards, using just over 3 minutes. And Womack, 80 yards and 5 carries.
And, Ron, that's almost impossible to do against an 8-man front football team, to take that ball 96 yards and without even the threat of a pass. They attempted one pass, so I'm sure Bud Foster's going to get his defense on the sideline and make some adjustments here and play the run a little tougher.
It was a very hearty crowd. They sold all the seats for tonight. Not all of the seats are occupied, but I can tell you they are sitting in cold, wet, stunned silence right now. Heavy, heavy favorites in this ball game, and to drive, as Mike said, 96 yards and do it all on the ground is extremely impressive. Kendrick, the deep man, and this one again is going to go 8 yards deep in the end zone. Tomorrow morning on Sunday NFL Countdown, the Eagles and Redskins battle for first place in the NFC East, and the Miami Dolphins without Jay Fiedler. Then at 7:30, Chris Berman and Tom Jackson return for NFL Primetime. All the scores, highlights, and analysis from Week 13 in the NFL. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Ron, the big play wide receiver is in the ball game right here for Virginia Tech. Now, he can go get it.
Now, let me ask you, do you think that they will try to go on top? You were talking about the coaches trying to get out. You think they'll go to him early?
Yes.
Right now. You know, right over the middle. And a flag comes down. That's going to be holding on the Virginia linebacker. They were looking for Browning Wynn, the tight end. He not only was open, but so was Davis.
Yeah, Donnie Green, number 33, is going to be called for holding the tight end. So a break for Tech. Tight end right here. Working down the field. There's the hold right here on the tight end by Donnie Green. Slokowski. Good call. Andre Davis is hurt, Ron, and talking to Ricky Bussell, he said they're going to try him early and get a feel for whether he can play. Now, he comes right out after that play.
Sure did. Ernest Wilford has checked back in, number 19, the big redshirt freshman. Huge target at 6'5". And this is Kendrick. Kendrick takes it out across the 35 to around the 38-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of just about 8 yards in the play.
Now, Virginia wanted to fumble there because Kendrick, when he hit, before he hit, or the Virginia people thought before he went down he fumbled that football, but they're not going to get it. Here's Kendrick on the run. Close.
Looked like his knee was down, though. So down to play with, so to speak. 2nd down and 2. They need to take it to the 40-yard line. From the I formation, here comes an option play. And Vick pitches the ball. Not a good pitch either.
No, and he's hurt, Ron. Michael Vick is hurt.
Vick is down and rolling in pain. Donnie Green made the tackle. And Vick is holding his ankle.
You know, when I talked to Ricky Bussell, he said he was going to let everything hang out. He was going to run the option. He was going to try to run the football, but he thought that he would block it the way that he'd be able to pitch the football. Everybody this year is making Michael Vick carry the ball, and they're trying to punish him.
At the end of the play,
looks like his foot just got caught.
Well, the linebacker would not let go of him and pulled him down in a very awkward position. In fact, that's what the crowd is booing about right here.
Yeah, it's Donnie Green. Well, Donnie Green doesn't know whether he has the football or not, so he's got to make sure he takes him down. It looked like his heel got caught up under Donnie Green's body. Now Dave Meyer is going to come off the bench. Dave Meyer has started the last 2 football games. He's 25 of 51, Ron. One interception, 1 touchdown. But his second half performance against Pittsburgh really led them to the victory over that football team.
Dave Meyer, a senior out of Ramsey, New Jersey, takes it over with a 3rd down situation. They lost one on the play, so they need 3. And he'll hand it off. Kendrick bounces it to the outside. Going to be hit, and he will be stopped short. Will not have the 1st down. And again, it's Donnie Green who was there to make the tackle.
And Virginia really playing spirited here on defense. lot of talking going on.
Well, yeah, there is a lot of extracurricular stuff going on. Players making official signals on the field and jumping around. Vick being attended to on the sideline.
Virginia Tech's got to punt this football inside their 50.
And actually, it is a crossing wind, but he will be kicking into the wind. James Johnson is the deep man.
The biggest problem you have in coaching is in a game like this is the wind. Trying to figure out when you have it with you.
This kick is just going to die into the wind. And it's fumble. Scramble, recovered by Virginia Tech at the 25-yard line.
Well, we saw Womack change the field position. There's flag down, but Womack changed the field position. Now the fumble here may change it back for Virginia Tech.
Chad Beasley made the recovery.
Is for holding on the receiving team. It is declined.
First down, Virginia Tech.
Big break for Tech, Ron.
In defense of the deep man. The ball just stopped. Watch, it just blows away from him like a baseball ball.
And he got turned, Ron. You always want to face the ball square. A recovery, and I think this would be a good play to let Dave Meyer try to go up on top here. Unless you give it to Suggs.
So Johnson has the ball blow away from him. Huge turnover for the Hokies if they can put points on the board. They go with the running play, and this is Suggs. Going to fight his way for about 5 yards, and Isabel makes the tackle. Adrian, let's check with you.
Michael Vick is not coming back into this game anytime soon, Ron. The shoe is off on an already hurting right ankle where he got that high ankle sprain a couple of weeks ago. Now the pain is not in the bone on the outside of the right ankle. It was within the muscle. The shoe is off. They're trying to identify just exactly where it is, but he's out for a couple series at least.
Okay, Adrian, thanks. Great hustle. 7-0. If you just joined us, Virginia on top. Just under 8 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Suggs again. Gets by one tackle, gets by a second. He'll have the first down. The man who tripped him up is Shenard Newby. Lee Suggs from just over at Christiansburg, just, what, 10 miles from where the stadium is. His daddy is a Baptist minister.
And we were talking to Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator, and he said Sparky Woods, when he was a member of the coaching staff, was recruiting Lee Suggs, but he said they had to go through Christiansburg to get here to Blacksburg, so they figured he had a hold on him.
Now you can see Michael Vick being helped to the locker room. We'll get a report just as soon as we can. As they run, Ferguson, touchdown, Virginia Tech.
Ron, a nice belly play here. Opened up perfect. Good blocking. The linebackers took off. Jarret Ferguson broke back across the green, and it's his 31st start as the fullback. Look at him. Breaks right through. Good ball handling by Meyer, and the linebackers lost the ball.
Worley to attempt the extra point. Ball is down, kick is up, and we are tied at the 7:23 mark. And the battle in the Commonwealth of Virginia is always a good one. It's starting off that way tonight.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac! I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
This week in Suzuki Heisman Highlights. This year's MVP has got to be the V6 Grand Vitara by Team Suzuki. Check out this play. With his V6 quad cam engine and ladder box frame, he tackles that mountain like it was an anthill. That's power. With that kind of season, it's no wonder the Grand Vitara has been named the official automobile of the Heisman Trophy.
Now at your Suzuki dealer, vote for the Heisman candidate of your choice. Enter to win a V6 Grand Vitara and other great Suzuki products.
Introducing Nokia Mobile Messaging. Nokia, connecting people.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Suzuki, engineered to fit your life. Well, that's how we stand, tied at 7 at the 7:23 mark as Worley prepares to kick it off. And again, he's going to be kicking into the wind. And Mike, I think if I were Virginia, I'd bring those return men up just a little bit closer.
Them up. They're about the 7-yard line. They probably should come up to about the 10.
Yeah, the wind's going to grab this one. On the run, he'll make the catch at the 17-yard line. That's Mason. And Mason knocked out of bounds immediately. And it's going to be Benny Wolf who makes the stop. Adrian, what do you have for us, buddy?
Ron, on this Thanksgiving weekend, I thought it only appropriate that I thank all the people who logged on to ESPN.com. Keyword Ask Adrian. Come on in and meet my field reporter, field producer, Corey Kelly, who's helped me all season long. There's a look at the website for all the people who asked me to walk on top of the Carrier Dome or go eat ribs at Dreamland or go through the Tiger Walk down in Auburn. This is a way of saying thank you. I will say up to these seconds on the website and have everyone participate as much as you would like to. Almost anything goes on the website.
Okay. Womack back at the ball game. Is this crowd really getting into it? Rolls the pocket, got him in wide open at the 35-yard line. This is Coffey, and finally pushed out of bounds after he goes over midfield by Corey Bird.
What happens on this play that Coffey's so wide open is a slot formation. It looks like they ran the two defenders into each other. Right here, there's a little pick right here. Now Coffey comes off, and he's wide open. Pretty good play against man coverage. When you know they're going to be in man coverage, you race them, pick them.
Again, Virginia Tech with 9 men in the box. They back off from the cornerbacks. Spinner's pass delivered way too high. That ball's not catchable, but the flag has come down, and let's see if it holds against Whitaker, because McMullen would have had to have been about 12 feet tall.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it should hold here. I would think that's going to be called back, but who knows?
Unless they call holding.
But Billy McMullen was the receiver.
Interference on the defense, 15 yards, first down.
Well, Frank Beamer's about 5 yards out on the field, and he wants to know why it was an uncatchable ball in his mind. Bryson Spinner with the ball, and he didn't need a step ladder to get that football.
Oh, my.
Or a rope or something.
So Whitaker called for the pass interference, and for Virginia, they are rewarded with a first down at the Hokie 29-yard line.
Wilt couldn't have made that catch.
No, he wouldn't. He could not have.
It's interesting the play calling now by Gary Twankwill, the offensive coordinator, to come out and throw the football. You run the ball successfully, and you come out and throw in the second series.
But he gives it to Womack this time, right up the middle. He'll take it for a couple of tough yards before Philip Summers stops him.
And I'll tell you why I think he did that, because he knows that they got pretty good coaches on the other side of the field. So if you run the ball 8 times and go for 96 yards, you figure they're going to load up the box 8 and 9 men. So come out and throw the ball and try to loosen them up and get an advantage.
Look at this. Womack needs 37 yards to lead the ACC. And, of course, it means That's a big deal as he is stopped going just inside the 25 down to the 24. Summers again will make the stop, and will continue to do a running tally on that.
Last drive for Antoine Womack, he just lit it up with some big plays. This was the biggest play of the first quarter until that fumble on the punt return. This is completely changing field position by Antoine Womack. And then he busts up inside for another big gainer. Takes it down close to the goal line, and then Tyree Foreman got in the end zone.
Third down, 5. The line to make is the 19.5-yard line. 2 tight end formation. Barely got the play off. Womack bounces it to the outside. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Virginia. Luzard, number 81, the tight end, with an awfully good block.
And Ron, when you see a play like that develop, you know the wide receivers got to be blocking outside, because when you get a tailback breaking away, starts up inside. Now watch both these wide receivers at the top. There's one block right here. He's running him off in the top of the field. Now you lose contain. You don't have anybody outside. It's like a picket fence. You got to turn them back inside so you can get some help.
Coffey also, number 88, with an outstanding block, as David Green will attempt the extra point and try to make it again a 7-point lead. Nice job on a high pass. Flag is down.
What that usually is offside on the defense.
Foul is offside on the defense. It is declined. The point is good.
So let's take a commercial. 5:41 remaining in this first quarter as we look one more time at Womack's 24-yard touchdown run, and the Cavaliers go on top by 7.
This ordinary-looking bed is the key to a restful night's sleep. Even though it may look like an ordinary mattress, it's more comfortable than you could ever imagine. Introducing the Nautilus Sleep System. Nautilus uses variable support chambers designed to let you control the comfort on your side of the bed. Individual remote controls allow you to increase or decrease the firmness on your side of the bed, so you can have that feather soft feel and your spouse can get the extra firm support he or she has always wanted. Available features like a luxurious cashmere blend pillow top and our unique comfort layer make Nautilus the choice for a great night's sleep. It's time you feel the instant comfort of Nautilus with no money down and payments as low as $25 per month. Try Nautilus in your home. We guarantee the best sleep you've had in years. If you're not completely satisfied within 12 weeks, return it for a full refund of the purchase price. Call now for your free video and brochure. Discover instant comfort with the Nautilus Sleep System.
You called him a hoophead. I didn't say that. That's just some label corporate America uses to package us. Big time. It's just some marketing gimmick. Wake up. Open your eyes, dude.
The Puerto Rico Shootout Championship at 3 on ESPN2. And the Great Alaska Shootout Championship at midnight on ESPN today.
14-7, and look who's coming back. Michael Vick trotting back on the field, and in fact, he is loosening up down on the sideline. I'm with you, Mike. I'd be surprised if he came back in, but they're sure preparing him. He came out, by the way, just as Womack was scoring the touchdown.
Yeah, it depends. It's a cold night, so he may just got banged on that ankle and bruised it, and be able to come back in after he's gone inside and get a little warm heat on the ankle.
Kick, and with the wind, every kick that has gone in that direction has been about 5, 6, 7 yards deep as Green knocks it back there. And Adrian, what can you tell us about number 7?
Mild sprain of the right ankle. This is the second sprain in as many weeks of that ankle, Ron. Now, they told him, do the best you can, Mike, to protect yourself when we put you back in the football game. You know, Virginia's not going to go for his ankle purposely. But it's part of the football game. And if he gets out in the open, they've got to stop him. They just warned him as best they could. It's Beaver's decision how much he's going to play and when he goes back in, Ron.
Okay. I would imagine that even though they've retaped and everything, sitting in this cold, damp weather to be inactive might be even worse than trying to play. Meyer, play action, zips the pass, and he throws that one low. In fact, it's a darn good thing he did, because it would have been picked off had he thrown it up toward the receiver, who was Ernest Wilford.
Yeah, a little slow throwing that football, and I'd like for Adrian to check on Andre Davis, too, because he's been in the ball game once. I think we may have seen him for the last time tonight also.
And you take those two weapons away,
yeah,
and you're talking about a sizable effect on the offense.
And Andre is on the sideline trying to stay warm, but I just doubt that we're going to see him much.
Situation, if you just joined us at game time, the temperature hovering just above freezing, but with the wind and the blowing rain, it's like a blowing mist. Impossible to really warm up as Suggs takes it for a tough 3 yards out to about the 23-yard line. It's Crowell making the tackle.
Angelo Crowell, the brother of the wide receiver, Jermaine Crowell, who's playing for the Lions now. Here's the last play, Ron, and you see the strong safety over here cheating up to give almost 9 guys in the box because they know they're going to run Suggs, and there's nobody to block him.
Third down. Virginia Tech needs to take it out to the 30-yard line if they want to keep this drive going. Just under 5 minutes to play. Meyer with play action and zips his pass, and it is caught. Now the Virginia bench saying incomplete. Now the official concurs. Wilford could not get it, and that shows you how the wind, when you're going in that direction, how the wind affects your pass.
Yeah, he's wide open, and Dave Meyer throws the ball as hard as he can, but the wind just took it and killed it. You see it just turn over, and the ball's dropped at the end.
Third punt already, and consider this. They're having to kick into that wind again. Each time a spiral has started off his foot, and it turns into what looks like just a wounded duck. James Johnson again, the deep man, as they're coming after him, and they ran into him. Here's a flag. Virginia Tech with a huge break here, and the ball gets by Johnson. He almost fumbled another one. Wow.
Boy, I'll tell you what, George Welsh is going to talk to that young man. Tell him to leave the football go. Simmons, number 6, I believe, ran into the kicker. Now it depends whether there's going to be a
running into or if roughing the kicker. If it's roughing, obviously it's a first down, Virginia Tech.
He's going to say it's a 5-yard penalty, and Frank Beamer's not going to agree with that call either. So they're going to refuse the penalty.
Frank's even farther out on the field. Yeah. He's almost out to the numbers and the arrows out there. Frank appealing here, say,
5 yard, running into the kicker. That penalty is declined, first down.
Yeah, it looked to me like he hit him pretty good. Here's the punt. You be the judge. Tried to pull off. It may have been a good call.
I'm not sure the coaches realized at kickoff that this wind was going to be the factor. I think it's blowing stronger, right?
Well, what Virginia won the toss, they declined it, so Virginia Tech took the football and Virginia took the wind.
Tyree Foreman is the tailback. He gets the pitch. They go to the open side of the field, but a nice job defensively, and that is Corey Bird, the senior out of Mays Landing, New Jersey.
And Ron, when you play your rival as a coaching staff, you better know everything about them. You better know what they do in their strength program, their recruiting program, their academic program, and you need to know everything about them. Virginia knows this defense as well as anybody in the country. Gary Tranquil is doing a nice job of attacking the Virginia Tech defense.
Look at this wind, how it has picked up. It's now gusting over 16 miles an hour as they run it right up the middle. And 71, David Pugh hits Foreman and will stop him after a short gain. I'm sure that George Welch would love to get something going, if nothing else, in a position to at least kick a field goal as long as he's got the wind. We're running down to 3:42 and now 3:41. Coming to life.
The wind has blown George's hat off there a little bit. He's killed it, yeah, a little bit.
Who said that? Blitz from the outside. Pass right over the middle, almost intercepted. And I'll tell you, Spinner did a smart thing. I think he threw it hard and tried to throw it into the ground as Pyle almost made his 7th pickoff of the year. Virginia Tech has intercepted 23 balls this year.
And what you do is you try to blitz, and you know what they're going to come with. And here's Pyle, number 35, almost stepping in front and making that interception. He knew what the checkoff was going to be. He knew what the sight adjustment was going to be.
Mike Abrams prepares to kick. First punt of the night by Virginia. Whitaker, the deep man. End over end, away from Whitaker. It's going to go out of bounds way down at the 25-yard line. Now they're going to say the 26. Tonight at midnight on ESPN, the Great Alaska Shootout Championship game. The Missouri Tigers of the Big 12 against Syracuse. Preston Schumbert averaging 24 points a game up in Alaska for the Orange. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Your hope for college basketball on the internet. Michael Vick, the reason for the ovation. Vick is back in the lineup, and we'll see how effective he can be. I would think that Virginia would play off of him like it is going to be run and him throw, but him not run.
I'd make him hurt me throwing the football.
Kendrick bounces it back into the boundary. 30 out to the 32-yard line.
Going back to that punt that Virginia Tech just went after, and the crowd really gets into the kicking game here because Virginia Tech blocks so many kicks. But of the Tech's 83 blocks under Frank Beamer, only 3 have been against Virginia. So they know how to protect against the kicking game.
Cullen Hawkins, senior out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who is one of the 2 fullbacks who was used on a regular basis, is the man who's down.
And you see there the kick blocks. Air Force is the team behind Virginia Tech in most kicks blocked. Fisher DeBerry's team.
You know, it was interesting as you watched Vick coming over to the sideline, and we're glad to say Hawkins is up and running off under his own steam. I asked Michael yesterday, I said, what about you didn't get to spend Thanksgiving with Mom? And he said, no, but Terrell Parham, who's from Bartow, Florida, his mom came up and cooked a turkey and cooked Thanksgiving lunch for a bunch of the kids. His mom is Phyllis. Michael said that was a great thing, that the guys really enjoyed it. She's an outstanding cook. Sets in the pocket, drills this one through it. Wilford couldn't hold on. Adrian Karsten, let's check back with you.
To answer Coach's question, Andre Davis, too much pain to play right now. By non-contact, he sprained his right ankle in the second offensive series because he's had a problem with bursitis. Sounds like a problem an older man should have, but because he wasn't able to start and stop very fast, he couldn't go full speed, and a lot of times that's when you get injured. Additionally, David Meyer, who injured his rib cage against Central Florida, has more pain as well when he takes a deep breath, so really hurting Virginia Tech is right now.
Under 3 minutes to play, opening quarter. Virginia on top, 14-7, straight ahead with the running play, Kendrick. And he's not going to have the first down. And the clock, 2:47, now 2:46. They're going to have to kick into this wind again.
And, Ron, that's a call that if you'd have seen Virginia Tech early in the year, that would have been a Michael Vick call.
Yeah.
Where he's going to run the football. But because of his injury, they turn around and hand the ball off to Lee Suggs. And that's what Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator, is playing for. He's stopping the running game of Virginia Tech.
Well, Johnson is not back this time. It's going to be Ahmad Hawkins back as the deep man for UVA. And they got the return on him off the side of his foot. Hits at the 50. Now takes a decent Virginia Tech bounce. But Peasley had that one come badly off the side of his foot. That's only 22 yards.
Yeah, and special teams have been a big part of Virginia Tech, but Virginia's not bad against them either.
The wind in this opening quarter has been far more a factor than anybody thought.
That will play with coaches' minds more than anything. Rain, snow, whatever, the wind is the one area. It looked like he just got the ball tilted a little bit and went off the side of his foot.
Drop was not
very good. Hands are cold.
Bryson Spinner, freshman out of Alexandria, Virginia, operates at quarterback. Play action. And he will run. He's 225, but he'll take off, and he'll take it across midfield. That's going to be a gain of about 8 yards in the play. Channing Reed had to come over and make the tackle. Mike, another thing that's got to be big. Virginia has continued to make Virginia Tech play with second and short and third and short rather than long.
They really have, and Spinner did a good job of tucking the ball in there. You saw Dan Ellis giving the signals. Now, he's not as mobile a quarterback, but better decision maker than Bryson Spinner, obviously, because Spinner's only a freshman. But Spinner is a lot like Aaron Jones, the quarterback, Aaron Brooks, the former quarterback of Virginia, and has mobility.
Womack close to the first down at around the 46. Corey Bird tripped him up. Clock is stopped while we determine whether it's a first down or not. 1:24 showing on the clock.
Aaron Brooks, we talked about him. We saw him in this football game have a very good football game against Virginia Tech a couple years ago. He's going to start for the Saints tomorrow in their pro football game.
Stretching out the chains, and it looks as though it's going to be just about 1 length short. You know what I figured out finally? That's 2 hats that George has on. He has on a skull cap and then a baseball cap over. That's the reason it's sitting a little cocked funny. Now I said it. Forget George's hat.
Yeah.
1:24 remaining. 14-7. UVA on top. Third down and just inches.
I've seen that hat in the Marx Brothers.
Womack and Foreman set in the backfield. And they give it straight ahead. Short yardage, going to be a first down with John Duckett, the junior out of Lexington Park, Maryland. Reese Davis, let's hear from you tonight.
All right, Ron, UNLV has not won a road game in November since 1993. Needs to beat San Diego State to become bowl eligible, but Jason Van having none of it, going in from the 7. Then Jason Van would go in again, and the Aztecs on top of Johnny Robb's Rebels, 21-7 in the second.
Yeah, they got to win both those games to get in a bowl game. UNLV, and I think they have Hawaii left also.
First down, Virginia. On the 45 of Virginia Tech. Under a minute now to play. Spinner sets deep in the pocket. He's going to go long, and that's going to be well overthrown. Virginia Tech, the safety, came over to help out. Dotson was the closest man to it.
Now remember, he's throwing with the wind too, so you got to take a little bit off there. But Virginia has done a nice job. They got 44 seconds left with the wind at their back, and that's why you try to throw the ball down the field. Gary Tranquil knows that he's going to change around here in a little bit, and he's not going to be able to throw the deep passes and get Virginia Tech's defense off of him. I wouldn't be surprised he'd come right back and throw it again.
Well, Coffey is the man to the top of your screen. He's wide to the left. We'll see. Now you got moving all over the place by Virginia. Jones and Baber both.
From that little movement of the tight end, it looked like it was going to be a sweep to the left with Womack.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5 yards.
Let's see if they keep the same play on, Ron. It looked like it was going to be a run to the left with Womack. Let's see if they call it off now.
How many times would you do that? Would you change the play?
No, sometimes you want to keep the play and you feel you have a good play. Let's see if they do the same thing. They're on the same formation. Let's see if the ball goes this way. Or if they call it off and throw the ball.
Copy again, then at the top of the screen.
That's what it's going to be.
Yep, and it goes as Womack has 5, has 10, and he has the first down. Nope. Well, he picked up 10 yards, but I forgot the 5-yard penalty. Taylor finally made the stop, but it is going to be a gain of 11 yards.
Ron, what Virginia's doing a good job of is zone blocking. They're getting people on all the defensive people. Now Womack is reading that, cutting back against the grain. Now finally Ben Taylor makes the tackle on Womack, but a good job of reading the blocks of his offensive line.
10 carries, 120 yards for Womack so far tonight.
He's going to go to the lead of the ACC in this game.
Shotgun. Got a man overthrown. Well, actually, then the cover came over on McMullen pretty quickly. And that is the end of the first quarter. So now Virginia Tech is going to get the win.
And they got a punt into the win because they threw the football on that play.
That's the end of the quarter. 14-7 UVA.
ESPN's 2-Minute Drill. Mondays and Thursdays at 7. Hosted by Kenny Mayne.
This piece of art recently sold for $53 million. You can have this one for around $10. And it comes with this award-winning Chardonnay. Meridian Vineyards, a work of art.
Presto Pizzazz Pizza Oven. From freezer to perfect in minutes. Set it for pizza the way you want. Crispy crust, bubbly top, or both. Watch it cook right before your eyes to know it's done the way you want. So delicious, you won't believe it was frozen. While ordinary ovens are heating, you're eating. Regular crust, rising crust. From Presto.
The year was 1983, and Danger Kitty released their hit single, Love Rocket. With it came instant fame and fortune. They bought mansions, cars, and the finest women's clothing. But by 1984, the fans left, the fortune was gone, and the dream was over. Desperate for money, Danger Kitty last performed at the Smuggler Bar Mitzvah.
Some people just can't live within their means. The Discover card with spending management tools for the slightly smarter consumer.
This week in Suzuki Heisman Highlights.
This year's MVP has got to be the V6 Grand Vitara by Team Suzuki. Check out this play. With his V6 quad cam engine and ladder box frame, he tackles that mountain like it was an anthill. That's power. With that kind of season, it's no wonder the Grand Vitara has been named the official automobile of the Heisman Trophy.
Now at your Suzuki dealer, vote for the Heisman candidate of your choice. Enter to win a V6 Grand Vitara and other great Suzuki products.
13 years ago,
Don't go, Jack.
Jack Campbell gave up love
So you left her.
I took the road less traveled.
on the path to success.
You're a credit to capitalism, Jack.
But this Christmas, he'll get a magical glimpse of what his life could have been.
What's happening to me?
I love you.
Nicolas Cage,
There's nowhere else I'd rather be than here with you.
The Family Man, rated PG-13, at theaters December 22nd.
The label on our wines is an artistic arrangement of yellow, red, and blue. To which the critics have added just a touch of gold. Meridian Vineyards Chardonnay, a work of art.
(14-7) as we begin play in the second quarter. And Mike Gottfried, when you look at the numbers, the thing that sticks out most of all, 171 yards to 78 in favor of UVA. But this number right there at the top, 142 yards rushing. Normally that doesn't happen in an entire game against Virginia Tech.
No, and you look at Virginia Tech 0 for 4 on third down conversions. Now, George Welsh tried to throw the ball on third down, which was the right call. Try to pick up the first down or kill the clock before you had to come into the win, but it's down far enough that it's
end over end here, and it's going to hit at the 5 and go into the end zone. It's almost like if you're kicking off to the right, that there is more of a breeze coming from that direction than there is going north and kicking back over to the left side of the field. Tonight's Aflac trivia question. With last week's victory over NC State, George Welch is now assured of his 13th consecutive winning season in Charlottesville. Who was the last coach to lead Virginia to back-to-back winning seasons prior to George Welch? We'll have that answer later on.
Now, Ron, you look for Virginia Tech to open it up a little bit more with the wind at their back.
Vick puts it in the stomach of Suggs, and he is going to be stopped after a short gain. Actually, he tripped over his own blocker just short of the 25-yard line. Donnie Green will be credited with the tackle.
Donnie Green sat out last season because of personal reasons, but he's back now, and Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator, says he's been very consistent this year in the linebacking core. Always good linebackers at Virginia.
They really have had a lot, and other places are called a linebacker U, but they've had a bunch of them.
They could be right there.
Second down, Vick on play action zips this one, and Incomplete. Boy, he had some steam on that, looking for Emmett Johnson.
Receivers are having a hard time tonight catching the football for Virginia Tech. Emmett Johnson should have made that catch.
Well, they've got the gloves on, and for obvious reasons tonight, but the rain continues to fall. The wind is still blowing, and not only are hands cold, but the gloves are wet. 4 wide receiver set for Virginia Tech this time. They need to take it out to the 30. Vick zings this one, has it complete. That'll be enough for the first down. It's Witten, and twice tonight Witten has come up with big catches to move the sticks. Gain of 12.
You see the strength of Michael Vick's arms. 6'1", 214. He throws the ball, very strong delivery, gets the ball out there to Witten for the first down. I think you'll see more passing out of Virginia Tech in this series.
Well, he keeps looking. He's going to call timeout. He is confused over what they're trying to send into him. 6 seconds, down to 5 and down to 4 on the play clock. Going to have to hurry, and barely got it off. And it's Suggs, and Suggs looked as though he had a pretty big opening. Then it closed down quickly as Isabel was there to make the hit along with Donnie Green.
Isabel has been the leading tackler of this football team in 4 of the last 6 games. He and Donnie Green, and you had Byron Threed in there, and then Angelo Kroll, who they say is a starter, even though he doesn't start. But Isabel is a fine football player.
He's got 4 tackles, we understand, officially from downstairs. Vick rolls to the opposite side, throws it complete, and that's Emmett Johnson. And that ball well, they say he caught it. Contact on the ground caused the fumble. It is first down, Virginia Tech. Good for 15 yards.
Now Tech is spreading out the Virginia defense. And one of the things you do when you have a Michael Vick is you seal the corner so you can get him out here to throw the football. He gets squared, the shoulder squared, he hits Emmett Johnson in a perfect route.
Virginia leads it 14-7 over Virginia Tech as we play in the second quarter. Fakes it to Suggs. Flag is down, and the quick out screen to Moody, and he dropped the football. That was defended well by Virginia. But you're right, the receivers, the cold and wet.
Have a hard time catching the football.
That's 3 drops that we have against Virginia Tech tonight.
Offside on Virginia, but you can see now Ricky Bussell with the win, an entirely different game plan, throwing the ball a little bit more. Michael Vick limping still, gingerly on that ankle, but they're going to. I don't think they're going to ask him to run the football. He's going to try to win this football game throwing the ball. And if Adrian's report on Dave Meyer is right, he has bruised ribs, you need Michael Vick to stay healthy.
On first down, hands it off to Suggs, cuts it back, runs into his own blocker, Josh Redding, and the tackle is made by Isabel again.
I think you're right, Ron. You've talked about Lee Suggs for the last 4 weeks of how he's the most valuable player on this Virginia Tech football team. He has carried this football team, and with Michael Vick's absence and Andre Davis's injury, Lee Suggs has been the guy that they go to.
1,091 yards coming into this ball game tonight. Again from the shotgun. Vick rolls the pocket under pressure, and he's going to try to run, and it's a limp. But he takes it as far as he can and even loses his headgear. First down, +7 at the 30-yard line. And let's see if Vick gets up. Donnie Green made the tackle.
That's why I think you make him throw the football, and you don't want him to run the ball. On one leg, he's a lot better than a lot of quarterbacks in college football.
He was hopping on that one. He sure was.
Hop along, Cassidy.
You talk about a tough kid now. I mean, he's demonstrating a lot.
And he knows he's going to get tattooed here at the end. And he goes high in the air and takes this hit.
From the 30, with an I formation, gives it to Suggs, cuts it back, juke move, he's loose. 20, 15, at the 10, 5, count it, touchdown, Virginia Tech, 30 yards. Lee Suggs. Evans and Simmons both missed him, and that's right there the reason I think he's the MVP of this team. Boy.
I agree with you, and you're right. You've been talking about it for 4 weeks, but the passing game, when Michael Vick starts to throw the football game, it changes everything. Now you start to defend the pass, and what happens to you? Look at the hole, and now look at this move by Lee Suggs. Now cuts inside right here, and try to arm tackle him as Jarret Evans. You can't arm tackle Lee Suggs.
Worley with the extra point. And it is good. And we are tied at the 12:02 mark. So we'll take a timeout as you watch Suggs go 30 yards and knot it at 14.
You're about to see something special. Introducing the 2001 Buick LeSabre Special Edition. It's all about safety and comfort and that devilish grin you get knowing you just got the better end of the deal. Like a $1,250 value on the 2001 Buick LeSabre Special Edition. You can get real comfortable with that. Come see something special. Come see your Buick dealer today.
Hey, Mark, you order all this food?
Yeah, anywhere. And I don't have any. I'm cash poor.
Your dinner. You pay for it.
We're trying to get a little work done here.
Mark?
Can you add it on to whatever I'm paying you to live here?
Sort of like room service?
Yeah.
What's this look like? A Holiday Inn?
You want room service? You got it. Holiday Inn gives you more, and more is better.
You may not know this, but Santa used to play college football. And when he gets too busy to watch his team, well, it stinks to be an elf.
Enough with the wooden toys already.
So we all chipped in and got Santa TiVo. Now, he never misses a game.
Come on, come on. Daddy needs a touchdown!
Yep, Santa loves his football.
No, I'm coming for you, pork chop.
Bring it on, fat boy.
Learn more at TiVo.com.
Think they're close? Look at that shave. That's Total Closeness from the new Remington TCT with Total Closeness technology. It shaves even the toughest spots, like your neck, totally close. Total Closeness or your money back.
Can I have my face back now?
It's as digital as documents get. Digital copiers, network printers, color imaging. Kyocera is where documents are going.
A Kyocera Document Solutions company.
Tied at 14. Lee Suggs' his 25th touchdown, and as the nation's leading scorer, Lee Suggs seems to have a nose for the goal line.
Well, when I'm running the ball and I see the goal line, I guess I get like an extra burst of energy, and I just try to carry people and just try to keep my legs moving until I get across the goal line. And it's been working so far.
Interesting that there is an Athlete of the Year award given in the state of Virginia. And Virginia Tech has not said who they have nominated, but a lot of the media people downstairs have said that this young man right here will be a runaway winner. So we'll see if that's the one that Frank Beamer nominates. Here comes the kick with the wind. Not going to go into the end zone. From the 5, this is Art Thomas. Better hold on to the football. So now we got a little fisticuffs going on at the 21-yard line. Here comes a flag in. Well, the emotions always in state rivalries, they are very high. But this one tonight, a lot of times you get into the game and it calmed down. This one hasn't calmed down.
You don't like your rival, but don't make a stupid mistake.
Personal foul on both the kickers and the receivers. Those dead balls offset and the dead balls.
It's not going to go over well here. Ron, I was just thinking of something. With the wind here tonight, 3 of the touchdowns have been drives with the wind. Now, the one drive that they had into the wind, there's the altercation.
Skirmish.
That's probably a pretty good call. But the one drive into the end zone to our left, into the wind, was after a fumbled punt return.
That's right.
So
short field.
It's the problems with going into the wind, and Virginia faces this right now.
Running play, Womack, nothing there. sliced down hard, and that is Brian Welch, a reserve middle linebacker, junior out of Fairfax, Virginia.
And you make your hay with the wind. Virginia Tech trying to do that with 11:35 left.
You know, talking about that drive of the ball that was fumbled and recovered, they only had to drive it 25 yards, so they had the very short field. Great point.
And you can't throw the ball into the wind. The quarterbacks have had a problem tonight.
So now with your defense, if your Bud Foster can gang up
on the run. Gang up on the run, make them throw it.
Second down and 11. Spinner hit as he throws, and that ball's going to be well short.
See, there's a perfect example why. You come after him, you load up on the run, because both quarterbacks are having problems throwing the football into the wind, and it just dies. 1 out of 6 for Bryson Spinner.
Beasley and also Corey Bird coming with some great pressures. You look at Bud Foster on the sideline. Bud has done a really fine job with this defensive unit since coming here.
Played at Murray State. He played one of the outside ends in this defense, so he's played this defense. He understands it.
They called it a 4 front, but it's a wide tackle 6.
It's an 8-man front defense all the way around.
Spinner drills it, has it complete. Boy, what a big play by Baber, the tight end, and that is enough for the first down.
Caught him in man coverage again. Willie Pyle, number 35, was on the tight end Baber. And a good throw by Bryson Spinner.
Nice job of blocking that time by the guys up front. Jones, Lawson, Keith, Routson, and also Brad Barnes. And he moved the sticks, and furthermore didn't have to kick from deep in their own territory into this gale that's blowing. Spinner going to be hit. He's necktied by Ben Taylor. Taylor's been in on a lot of tackles already tonight. Reese Davis, let's check in with you again.
All right, Ron, as Mike mentioned, UNLV has to win its last 2 to become bowl eligible, down 21-7 to San Diego State. Another left-handed quarterback with some mobility, Jason Thomas, finding Nate Turner a nice catch. It's a 7-point game at the break.
He was out-jumped him, didn't he?
Coming back. I'm impressed with Bryson Spinner here, the freshman quarterback for Virginia.
He's got a lot of mobility for a youngster who's 225 pounds, doesn't he?
He has a lot of poise for a freshman.
Coffee in motion. Pressure was on, and he just threw that one too hard. I guess the last one that he threw in that direction, he didn't get enough mustard on it, and that one had 2 times too much.
You go back over the quarterback situation here at Virginia. They thought they had Ronald Curry 4 years ago in a recruiting battle, and they were not recruiting. He committed to Virginia. They thought they had him. They lost some other quarterback prospects along the way. Dan Ellis has appeared here. Aaron Brooks, and now Bryson Spinner, a pretty good-looking freshman here.
See what he can do. Third down. Line to make is out at the 36. Going to run the option. Pitches it back to Womack. Turns it up, and it's a nice job of defending the option. Willie Pyle makes the tackle well short of the first down, and it's kicking time for Virginia.
And you're right. Willie Pyle did a nice job, because when you get in the open field with Antoine Womack, you can't miss the tackle or you have a first down. That was a good tackle.
Second kick into the win. Third kick of the night for Virginia.
I'd move up a punt receiver a little bit. His heels are on the 30-yard line. I don't think it's going to go that far.
Picked up in the middle of the line at the 23-yard line by Virginia Tech.
Flag, and it may be offside. If Philip Sumner's on the block, it's either illegal procedure on Virginia, offside on Virginia Tech.
Summers got it, but all for naught. Frank has not been able to win a battle with the officials tonight, has he?
No. And you go on the movement, but you could see the movement inside. They just got off balance, and that's not a mistake that Virginia Tech makes very often. There's Philip Sumner's number 8 with the block.
Adrian, let's check with you very quickly.
The rule is, Ron, when a quarterback or the center has a snap in his hitch like he does here, right now hitching his snap, then you can move. When he pitches in a snap, they can go. That's what he did the first time.
Good pass, and this time they block it well. Spiral's not going to turn over, but it's a nice kick into this gale. And here's the return. 40, 45, 50. Whitaker, one man to beat the punter, and he juked him, but he will be knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Duckett pushed him out.
Perfect example of when you get a kick blocked and there's a penalty, and then you hold a little bit longer and you don't cover like you should. And that's what happened to Virginia on this. They don't get down. There's nobody down here.
39 on the kick, 55 on the return.
Because they're trying to make sure they don't get a kick blocked, they didn't get it covered the proper way.
Abrams is the only man, but then after he jukes him right there, then knocked out of bounds. First down, just inside the 14-yard line, gives it to the fullback, and Hawkins, who was shaken up earlier, glad to see that he is back in the ball game, will take it for about a half-yard gain. Pope on the tackle.
Yeah, nice job by Monsanto Pope. He held his ground here, fullback belly, which they scored on with Hawkins and Ferguson being the fullbacks on that play, but Monsanto Pope wouldn't let any yardage up on that play.
8 minutes, 35 seconds and counting. That's what we have left until halftime. It's Virginia Tech, the home folks, 14, and it's the visitors from Charlottesville, 14. Hawkins and Kendrick, the setback this time in an I formation. And they give it to Kendrick. Nope, he keeps it. Looking for the end zone. Nobody's there, and he just throws it away.
Well covered by Virginia, and you have a left-handed quarterback rolling to the right. There was nothing there.
And it was Isabel who was coming after him and forcing him out of the pocket.
Watching
it
that
a long time to get rid of that
watching that play, that was not designed very well, because going into the short side of the field, there was just nothing open. Michael Vick did the wise thing, throwing away the football.
So it's third down. They need about 10 yards to pick up the first, and timeout is called by Vick. Going to come over to the sideline and talk it over with his offensive coaches. Timeout at the 8:15 mark. It is the Hokies 14 and UVA 14. Virginia Tech threat.
You could be the best driver on the face of the earth. Hands at 10 and 2, full 2-second stops. You could be a poster child for the Department of Motor Vehicles. But what if everyone else isn't? The mid-size L-Series Performance Sedan.
Can something like a machine give you the power to work on your own terms? A machine that actually makes you feel free. Is there such a machine? A freedom machine. What do you think?
The Protégé series featuring the Intel Pentium 3 processor. To buy direct now, visit Toshiba.com. Choose freedom. Choose Toshiba.
Can you see what's so special about the new Braun Synchro? It's the first shaver whose head moves from side to side, so it captures more hair and cuts closer. Only it moves so fast you can't see it. But you can hear it. And to keep it feeling like a new shaver every day, here's how to clean it.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers. And by Holiday Inn, who gives you more, and more is better. Hokie Stones. Adrian brought one of those back to the truck. I asked him if he was going to put that on the plane tomorrow, but he didn't answer. By the way, this is how I know that it is cold tonight, because Adrian said it was cold. And Adrian's from Wisconsin. And when he says it's cold, you look at Ellis warming up on the sideline. Dan, the senior, out of Exton, Pennsylvania. He has been nursing a hamstring injury that just won't get well for him.
Ron Emmett Johnson, the inside receiver.
Here's Vick throwing it back in the screen. Got all kind of room. Blocker in front. And a nice job as they will finally tackle Hawkins at the 4. I mean, it was just wide open. Sproul makes the hit.
Tim Sproul made the tackle that saved the touchdown. Everything goes to the left. Remember earlier, they sprint out Michael Vick to one side. Now he throws back to Cullen Hawkins, and a nice tackle by Sproul.
2 tight ends, Suggs and Kendrick in the backfield. In fact, a power I set. Also, Ferguson joins them there. He lines up as the fullback. And they give it to Suggs. Right tackle. Going to take it for 1.5, maybe 2. Sanders at the bottom of the pile.
Suggs, as you said earlier, has a feeling for the goal lines. 24 touchdowns in 10 games coming into this football game. So he knows how to get in the end zone. 5 rushing touchdowns against Central Florida, a record.
Virginia Tech averages about 261 rushing per ball game. They're well under that tonight, but beginning to pick up steam. Suggs, right side, at the 2, at the 1, did not get in. His offensive linemen have their arms above their head, but the officials do not. Thweet made the tackle, along with Green.
It's a veteran offensive line. When you look at it, 4 seniors and a redshirt junior in that offensive line group.
You know, Frank and him said when we were up here the first time for the Georgia Tech game, though, that they really like some of these youngsters, that Marchant particularly, and also Anthony Davis, Jake Grove.
Yeah, and I talked about losing the offensive line. They said we'll be all right next year.
Well, let's see who they give it to. Ferguson behind the quarterback and Suggs. They give it to Ferguson, right side. No signal. Sure looks like he's in.
Yeah, you got to go find the football.
Touchdown.
And then that's a wise call, because they didn't see the ball break the plane, so you got to go find the football and see if it did break. Another touchdown with the win. Here's the give. Good movement by the offensive line. You see Matt Lair, number 69, on his knees. Steve DeMasi with a good block to center.
Good pass. Ball is down. The kick is up. And the Hokies have broken the tie at the 6:31 mark of the second quarter as they go on top. 21-14. The battle for the Cup of the Commonwealth. Well, not disappointing. Stay with us.
There's been a real thorn in the side of all wrestling because of this worm. You're the biggest in the planet, on the planet, baby.
In the main event, wrestling meets basketball in an Australian Outback match from Sydney, Australia. Kurt Hennig versus Dennis Rodman. I-Generation Wrestling.
Stars has more new hit movies in prime time. Movies you'll see first on Stars and only on Stars.
Just one of 12 commercial-free movie channels, only $10 more per month with your Total Choice package.
They came from all across America. 18 contestants took the hot seat and sweated through the toughest 2 minutes on television.
Which 24-year-old?
That infielder became...
Which University of Texas?
Davis Love.
Kurt Warner, Oklahoma.
Now their numbers are dwindling on the road to the final 3 in ESPN's 2-minute drill tournament. On Christmas Day, one champion will be crowned and can walk away with $200,000 and bragging rights for a lifetime. Quarterfinals continue Monday at 7 on ESPN.
Now, these are smart people outside the stadium. They're out there in that RB right now if they're smart, rather than sitting in this stadium. I tell you, these are some hardy fans. It is brutal weather. The temperature hovering just above freezing, and a mist, a steady drizzle coming down, and the wind blowing anywhere from, we've clocked it up to about 17 miles an hour as Worley kicks it off. This one's going to be returned. First one with the wind that has been. Mason from about the 2-yard line. It ran into his own man, and then it's going to be stopped by a gang of Hokies at the 20-yard line. Corey Bird, the first man there.
Good job.
Now the big question is who's going to be the quarterback for Virginia. Are they going to stay with Spinner, or are they going to bring Ellis in the football game?
Ellis, as you have explained, has the experience, but he has come in ball games the last 3 weeks. He plays, it's okay, and then the hamstring goes south on him again. And on a night like tonight, I think it's virtually impossible to get a hamstring warm.
Yeah, and I think the reason the switch here is because they've had problems throwing the ball. Bryson Spinner was 2 out of 8 for 41 yards.
Foreman out to the 25 as they cross him up.
And the one thing you don't know, Ron, being up here in the press box or in the stands, you don't really know what's going on at the line of scrimmage of checkoffs. A lot of times your quarterback will go up there with 2 plays, a run and a pass, or 2 runs, a run to the right, a run to the left. And as he sees the defense, then he makes the call. Well, Ellis is a more experienced guy. He's a senior as opposed to Spinner, the freshman, so he may make better decisions at the line of scrimmage.
Second down, they need about 5. Womack on the delay. No, I beg your pardon. It's Foreman, number 42. The junior of Sandy Spring, Maryland, hit by David Pugh. Will not have the first down. Now 3rd down and short.
Yeah, and good advice to Virginia is make this 3rd down because you don't want to give the ball back to Virginia Tech this quickly. 5:26 with the win, so you want to negate this quarter and get out of here.
About to go under 5 minutes until halftime. As we mentioned, Virginia Tech, a huge favorite in this ball game, hasn't been that way, but they have stiffened defensively and are playing better offense right now, trying to grab the momentum. They lead by 7. Ellis from the shotgun will make his first throw, and he threw it low and behind the receiver, incomplete. McMullen looking for the ball a little bit farther upfield.
Okay, now in the last punt, we had 2 punts. The last punt, we had the penalty. They blocked one, then returned one for big yardage. So now Virginia Tech really has this Virginia punter, Mike Abrams, on the back of his heels right now, not knowing what to expect from this team.
First of all, let's see if the snap is good. Gets a good one. They're coming after him. They blocked it well, and it's the kick is not going to turn over. Fumbled by Virginia Tech and picked up by Whitaker. The ball is loose, and Virginia, I believe, they have the football at the 40-yard line. Recovered by Merrill Robertson.
Well, there was 2 fumbles on that play by Roniel Whitaker. Fumbles the initial play, and the wind again plays a little tricks, and the ball got on him too much, and he never was able to tuck the football away. See his hands so tight to the body, he didn't have his hands out there.
Duckett, the reserve fullback, who made the hit on him and caused the turnover. So Virginia continues to operate offensively following the turnover by the Hokies. It's Coffey in motion. Whitaker, little counter play, but he was run down from the backside as the play was slow developing.
When you have a punt return or a running back or anybody that's going to carry the football, here's the mistake that Roniel Whitaker makes. Now he fumbles the ball first. Now he tries to pick it up, and he tries to put the ball away. And the one thing you want to do is cover the point of the football, and he doesn't have the point covered. Now watch where the helmet hits the point of the football, and it pops out.
Second down. They need about 9 for the first down. Fakes it to Womack. Sets in the pocket, drills the pass, incomplete, and again, it is well off the mark. McMullen is the man that he was looking for. You know, Mike, again, every time I have mentioned, the spiral will not turn over, and the ball's turning into a knuckler. It's like going top to bottom.
Hoyt Wilhelm.
It looked like Hoyt kicked that last week.
Hoyt Wilhelm, the knuckler. Now that's
Joe Necro.
Yeah, Joe Necro, Bill Necro, all the Necros do the knuckler.
Except
Pete Rose said he had more home runs off the Necro family than anybody else.
Third down. They need the 30-yard line.
Probably one knuckler zone.
Ellis, far side of the field, and incomplete. Virginia wanted pass interference. Not going to get it. McMullen, the intended receiver, and it was Hardy who was over there defensively.
That's a good series by Virginia Tech on defense.
Huge after the turnover because of the wind. There's no way that they're going to go for what would be, well, it would be about a 55, 56-yard field goal. But
they're going to try to punt him in the hole.
Abrams waiting for the snap back at the Virginia 47. Whitaker, the deep man for the Hokies. Very high, and this spiral's going to turn over, and he's going to kick it 5 yards deep in the end zone. That would have been like hitting the baseball 550. I mean, he just got a seam in the wind, and it went. Let's take a timeout. 3:57 until halftime. Hokies by 7.
With 1-800-COLLECT, you save a buck or two. So why doesn't everyone use it? It's so simple. You use 1-800-COLLECT to make that call, right? Oh, I forgot, man. Forgot? You forgot. 1-800-COLLECT. Collect call is so simple. Well, I've been up all night studying, man. I was just studying all night. It's like the number is 1-800-COLLECT, okay? Write it down. It'll save you big bucks. Have you heard of paper? Yeah. 1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
This is Mia. Every day, she spends hours passing, dribbling, and running until her feet are ready to explode. Discipline creates performance. As of the most recent calendar quarter end, the AIM Charter Fund has outperformed the S&P 500 for a 30-year period. See your financial advisor. AIM Funds. The idea is discipline. The purpose is performance. The name is AIM.
Hurry into Sonic for a one-of-a-kind special you just can't get anywhere else. Try an extra long coney covered with thick, meaty chili and lots of cheddar cheese, together with a large order of our famous hot and crispy tater tots. You know how much you love them, and you're going to love them even more now, because our Coney and Tots special is at a special low price.
Sonic America's driving.
Look what's back. Apple pie filling and real bits of crust blended into our delicious apple pie shake. Try one before they're gone.
Here in Blacksburg, Ben Pearson from Charlottesville, Virginia, was first to log on the ESPN.com website, keyword Ask Adrian, and say, Adrian, what's up with Virginia Tech's new jerseys? Well, Ben, they're not new at all. Circa 1960s, mid to late 60s. Now you ask, why would they wear jerseys with no names on them, make it difficult for Ron and Mike to tell who the players are upstairs? Well, because Frank Beamer played in the mid to late 60s. Prophetic? Only time will tell, Ron.
Yeah, that's the truth. I'm going to show you something else after this play that they're doing on their sideline. Virginia's not. Straight ahead with the running play, and Suggs gets collared, literally. Mike, is this a little bit of a psychological thing or what? Virginia Tech's got on parkas on the near sideline on this miserable night. Virginia does not have them. Their players are standing without covers on their jerseys or their headgears. Because when I noticed it a moment ago, when you look at the quarterback there, Spinner, and I thought, why does Spinner not have a jacket on? And on this side, Virginia Tech is mummified.
Well, you're supposed to bring all the parkas with you. That's the job of the managers.
Vick, under pressure, drills it, incomplete.
You know, talking about that, Ron, too, you have an advantage when you're at home because you can change your jerseys and because you got all the benefits of all your equipment room here. Well, on the other side, Virginia, they brought just what they need for tonight's football game. So wouldn't be surprised if Virginia Tech changes their jerseys at halftime.
But, you know, I heard a coach, read a quote of a coach, we're going to play a game in the northern realms and we're not accustomed to really cold weather. He said he wasn't going to put in that kind of stuff because he didn't want weather to be a subject.
He didn't want him to think about it. Yeah, Woody Hayes used to stand on the sideline with a white shirt and short sleeve shirt, and he said, I'm a coach in the elements.
Vick got it complete. What a great grab at the 42-yard line by Emmett Johnson.
Nice catch. He cradled the football. Emmett Johnson wanted to make sure, so he cradled the football and brought it in. Michael Vick Good concentration on that football by
That ball
Johnson.
was almost touched by, let's see, there's a hand there, and he still brought the ball in.
And Byron, 3. And you always have drills where you throw the ball through the arms of some a coach so that the player has to concentrate on the football.
Shotgun formation. Virginia shows blitz on the outside. Here they come. Quick out pass, and boy, what a nice defensive play. Hit immediately by number 9 Hawkins. As Moody caught it, he already had a defensive player around his ankles.
Yeah, Maud Hawkins is the leading interceptor on this football team with 4. A good tackler also. But he saw the screen and he attacked. Virginia Tech has 2 timeouts left.
Clock running now under 2 minutes and 30 seconds until halftime. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. Virginia shows blitz on the outside again, and here they come. They throw it quick and short, and it is going to be out to the 48-yard line with Emmett Johnson. Simmons there to make the defensive play. Clock continues to run. No first down is achieved. It's a 3rd down situation, and we have gone under 2 minutes until halftime.
The run on this play, the last play, look at right here. You got 1-on-1 on the top. There's no help here for that corner. Now he's down here.
They flipped it this time. 3 wide receivers to the other side. They roll the pocket, throws it complete, and again it's Emmett Johnson. He will have the first down. Boy, I'll tell you, he's throwing the ball hard tonight.
Yeah, but Michael Vick looks to me like he's limping more now than he was limping in the first quarter.
Virginia trying to change some players, and they better hurry because the Hokies going to their 2-minute drill here. 1 minute 30 seconds until halftime. 4 wide receiver set. And Rick Lance is going to send them again. Here comes the blitz. Pass is caught by Johnson. Breaks off 1 tackle. Will not get by the second. And that second is Ahmad Hawkins.
Ron, the coverage. What Michael Vick's reading is the coverage. He's got 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. And he's just reading the inside receiver. One of these 2 guys. He's reading them because there's nobody on them here.
Carter Worley's longest field goal, 47 yards, as Vick is going to scramble and hurdles the tackler. Comes down very hard at the 31. It's Simmons who tripped him up. 47 yards is the longest by Worley, and right now from where they are, that is about what the field goal attempt would be if they don't pick up any more yardage. Virginia Tech has called the timeout. So let's take a commercial break. Hokies by 7, 21-14, 48 seconds left until halftime.
In this lab, we're working to harness the body's immune system to combat cancer.
Together, we're creating and testing unique vaccines. It's an exciting collaboration linking immunology, chemistry, and patient care.
I don't like to see patients die. Our goal is to ensure that these new treatments really do make a difference.
The campaign for the University of Virginia, making its mark.
First and goal for Miami. So Larry goes. He is at the guard. Touchdown, Miami!
Here's Walker. Walker left side. Walker. Walker score. West Virginia has done it.
Here's the snap. The kick is away. It is good! Boston College wins!
Last play of the ball game. To the tight end, Brominski. He got it down!
This kick is in the air. It is good! It is good! One of the greatest wins ever!
Let that celebration begin.
Reese Davis with you in the studio. Coming up at the half, might not have been a score big enough to help Miami and the BCS computers, but they gave it a shot against BC anyway. The Cowboys tried to dub Josh overhyped. Chris Lee and Kirk are in-house, and they will drop by with some perspective and analysis. That's all coming up in just a few minutes at the half. Ron?
All righty. Thanks a million. 21-14 our score. 48 ticks left on that clock until halftime, and it's first down for Virginia Tech at the 31.5-yard line. Four wide receiver set again. Suggs is the only setback. Roll the pocket, and you can see him limping right there, limping even worse than he did earlier. Finds an open receiver and throws it at the 25 to Witten. But he really was slowed on that play.
Yeah, he's not a running threat in this football game. He's limping too bad. He's ran the ball a couple times and they punished him. I think 3 times tonight he's tried to run the football, and Virginia's punished him each time. Watch the inside receivers again, Ron.
10th play of the drive. The officials, he called everybody together to discuss.
I think he didn't go out of bounds.
Clock to 33 seconds.
He's going to take 7 seconds off the clock.
So the umpire moves away from the ball, and the referee sets the clock in motion. 30 seconds and now 29.
Both inside receivers.
Vick pushes his lineman to try to get him out of the way so he could throw. Looks to the end zone. Got a man. Touchdown Suggs. 24 yards.
Great athletic move by Michael Vick. Probably should have been sacked.
You will see on the replay, he shoved one of his offensive linemen who was about to knock him down.
He's playing on one leg, but he's playing well. Even the police department's congratulating him.
Worley to attempt the extra point, trying to make it a 2-touchdown lead for the Hokies at halftime. Kick is up, and it's good. 19 seconds left until intermission. And all of a sudden, Virginia Tech, 21 unanswered points.
Another touchdown with the wind. Michael Vick just doing a good job. Lee Suggs working down the field. Now that was a good move by Suggs. Now you're going to see Suggs right here. He's blocking right here. He's back here now. Michael Vick gets in trouble. Now you see him run down the football field. It's almost like a play you draw up in the backyard on Thanksgiving Day.
It was DeMasi that he put a hand in his back to tell him, move forward, don't move back anymore.
Suggs with a great move there to stay on the move.
So you would think that unless they get a really outstanding return on this kickoff, that George Welch and Virginia would elect to take the kickoff, probably go to one knee to let the clock run down. Don't take a chance into the wind.
And your decision's got to be for George Welch, because he's going to have the decision. What quarter does he want to win with?
Which would you do, Mike?
I'd have to think about it. I need 15 minutes to think about how things have gone, because the fourth quarter is going to be very, very important in this football game. But you can't get too far behind in the third.
Not if you
2 touchdowns behind now. I'd take the win in the third quarter to answer your question.
All right, we'll see what they do. Here's Worley's kick. This is not going to make the end zone. Very high. And return from the 8. Art Thomas. He gets hit with a head-high tackle. That's a tough hit right there. Dion Probert. Well, the answer to tonight's Aflac trivia question: who was the last coach to lead to Virginia to back-to-back winning seasons prior to George Welch? Art Gepp, back in 1951 and 52.
I'd have got that. Art Gepp was the commissioner of the Ohio Valley Conference at one time.
And guess what? The next year, he was wooed away by Vanderbilt. He'll take a knee. Not surprising, an able head to a warmer, drier locker room. Halftime here at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia. And our score at halftime: Virginia Tech 28, Virginia 14. Now it's Sports Center in-game. Reese Davis with the Buick halftime report.
Okay, Ron, thank you. The ACC has fared very well in intrastate rivalry games against non-conference foes. Florida State beat Florida, Georgia Tech beat Georgia, Clemson beat South Carolina. Virginia's got a little bit of work to do In the second half, they want to continue that trend. Coming up on SportsCenter Endgame, halftime report. Santana, smooth and supernatural. Miami trying to put a big score on BC, and Spree trying to lead the Knicks past the Raptors.
Sunday NFL Countdown, every week at 11 a.m. on ESPN.
You could grab an off-the-shelf computer for someone you love this holiday, or give them a computer that's built uniquely for them. A truly personal computer that's been turned into a music machine, or movie theater, or photo gallery, with training classes so they can get the most out of it. We think you can spot the better gift. Start with a fully loaded Gateway PC for less than $23 a month, including a year of America Online. Call 1-800-GATEWAY, where people rule.
We are no longer the underdog. We're not a small company or a struggling upstart. We're not Davids, they're not Goliaths. You could say we've succeeded, and in doing so, we created something bigger than a car, bigger than a factory, bigger than us. And best of all, we're not done creating.
Leaders never rest on their accomplishments. Leaders always seek a better way. They prepare the way for those who follow. And then, when the goal is reached, they reach for an even higher goal. That's what a leader does.
Husqvarna, a leader in outdoor power equipment. This fall, chainsaw starting at $179.95 or at your Husqvarna servicing retailer.
Welcome to SportsCenter In-Game. Time for the Buick Halftime Report.
28-14, Virginia Tech has the lead on Virginia at the half. Glad to have you with us. SportsCenter In-Game, the halftime report. You know, over the years, nobody has cost Notre Dame more than Southern California. In their last 2 trips to the Coliseum, Fighting Irish have lost, $20 million or so in prospective bowl money. Bob Davie told us on Wednesday night he wasn't too worried about that. We sort of got the idea that he didn't want to lose any more. Notre Dame and SC in Coliseum tied at 7. Matt LaVecchio, fine freshman, continuing to do things well for the Irish. 45 yards on the ground, 13 of it there for the touch. Irish up 14-7. Later in the quarter is 21-7. Carson Palmer getting ready to answer. Right down the middle to Kareem Kelly, 59-yard touchdown. Palmer 17-35 for 251. Paul Hackett's team within a touchdown. Third quarter, same score. LaVecchio showing off the deep ball. Threw for 142 yards, just 9 completions. Javon Hunter making the play right there. Inside the Trojan 5. That's set up on 4th and goal from a wishbone formation. LaVecchio picking his way in there. Irish up 28-14. They would win it 38-21. SC had a couple of punts blocked, had 2 turnovers in the first half. Notre Dame didn't turn it over again, only 8 all season. They've been excellent in that category, and what could have been, and in all likelihood was, Paul Hackett's final game as Trojan head coach. Number 1 team in the land, Oklahoma against Oklahoma State. Bob Stoops hoping to avoid the stumble going to the Big 12 championship game. Josh Heupel, Curtis Fagan, give him 6. Sooners up by a touchdown. Third quarter, Oklahoma State, Bob Simmons finale, hanging around, down 12-0. Tatum Bell logs on, and he is part of the Gone Network. 60 yards, and the Cowboys right back in this thing at 12-7. Fourth quarter, Cowboys driving. Asok Pogai stepping up in the pocket, looking for Rashawn Woods. He's down to the 10. Cowboys knocking on the door, trying to spoil the Sooner season. Same drive, 3rd and goal from the 12. Pogai under some heat, tosses it up and got smacked. Now it's going to be 4th and goal. Oklahoma State down 5, decide to go for it. They have to. Pogai, Marcellus Rivers, broken up by Derek Strait. Oklahoma takes over on downs. Boy, they escape against Bob Simmons' team. 12-7 the final, lowest point total of the Stoops era. Heupel threw for only 154 yards and 1 touchdown and was picked off a couple of times, but Oklahoma maintains that track to the Orange Bowl. Of course, Kansas State looming large next week in the Big 12 championship game. Miami and Boston College. Santana Moss on senior day showing off. Tim Hasselbeck and Boston College came out strong. They were driving for a second score until Hasselbeck threw the pick. Howard Clark going the other way. 64 yards, taking it inside the 30-yard line of the Eagles. Tom O'Brien, as you might have surmised, less than amused by that turn of events. Next play for Miami, Ken Dorsey wastes no time. Santana, move. 23 yards out, Miami takes the lead, and well, they wouldn't look back from there. 24-6 at the half. Now in the third quarter, Dorsey, Moss, 13 yards out, 31-6. Some thought maybe the Canes needed to drop a big number. Didn't really try to, but then again, things just kept working out. Moss, as he has done so well all season. A lot of green grass in front of him. The tight shot, 85 yards. Miami, a 45-6 lead. Let's make it 52-6 the final. Miami finishes up the season 10-1. Now they'll await their fate in the BCS. Moss, 235 all-purpose yards, 3 touchdowns. His 4th punt return for a touchdown that ties an NCAA record. Ken Dorsey's 5 touchdown passes tied a school record. Still, Miami not out of the woods in the BCS. Nothing really changed, although there might be some signs of change. Our College Game Day crew is here. Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, and Kirk Herbstreit. Guys?
Well, Reese, I'm sure that Miami was aware of the score in Stillwater, and had the Cowboys completed that 4th down pass, the national championship matchup could have been set, a rematch of that game that Miami won on October 7th. Instead, Oklahoma has that one final hurdle that Nebraska couldn't clear in 96 and K-State couldn't clear in 98. And the way they're playing right now, Kirk, looks like a toss-up with Kansas State. Why is their offense struggling so much?
Well, I think teams have made adjustments. If you looked at Oklahoma early this year, teams were playing a lot of man coverage and blitzing them. Now, in the last 3 weeks, teams are playing a little bit softer, rushing 3 or 4 people, playing zone and keeping everything in front of them, coming up and making tackles, forcing Oklahoma's offense to be patient, and it's been a very effective. Josh Heupel in the last 3 games, 6 interceptions and only 3 touchdowns. You could expect Kansas State to do the same thing this weekend. I'll tell you what, Oklahoma's starting to come across to me as a team that isn't playing with the same enthusiasm, almost like they're just expecting to win games. And I'll give them a little motivation a little bit later in the game.
They're going to need a lot of motivation. I'll tell you what, there's another team out there, Virginia Tech, is playing tonight, was disappointed Oklahoma won that ball game because they could have made the BCS. Now, we talked about it in the pregame show. The difference between this game would be Virginia Tech's special teams. Well, they recovered a fumbled punt, touchdown. They blocked a punt, offsides. They returned the next punt, 55 yards, touchdown. They got 21 points, 14 off the special teams.
Plus that crowd, they get into that game, don't they, when they get those special teams going?
If the Hokies are smart, they should root for Oklahoma to win, by the way, because Oklahoma would go down to there and play in that Orange Bowl. That would free up a BCS at large bid. If the Sooners were to lose to Kansas State, KSU gets the automatic bid out of the Big 12, and Oklahoma probably would get one of those at large bids. So Oklahoma actually
confusing, isn't it?
I'm just saying, I know they're playing a ball game. It's a lot for them to worry about as they play in the rain against the Cavaliers, but they want the Sooners to win. There's Suggs off and running, 2-touchdown lead for the Hokies.
The buzz on the floor? A buying frenzy has erupted in the automotive sector. It's putting pressure on sellers, and stock levels may begin to tumble.
This year-end sell-off was sparked by Buick's announcement of additional holiday bonus cash, bringing the total value of cash and option package discounts on a Buick 2001 Century Special Edition to $1,500. Also adding fuel to the frenzy, consumers may be eligible for additional offers on Century.
The big gainers today, the buyers.
Welcome to Transmegala, 268th floor, Information Services Division.
Yes?
We're from Luftgart. We provide enterprise IT consulting.
Tea?
ERP, CRM, and ASP management.
Cake?
24/7 apps hosting.
I already have one company for every application my division needs.
How's that possible?
I have Quest.
The communications to change everything. Ride the light, Quest.
ESPN the magazine. Stuart Scott wants the fleece.
Booyah!
Stuart, only brand new subscribers get the free fleece.
Everyone wants our warm, roomy fleece pullover. It's free with your paid subscription to ESPN the magazine.
Maybe you want to take out another subscription.
Call now for ESPN the magazine. Get 26 issues, a year's worth for just $1 an issue. And your fleece pullover is free. 1-800-972-8448.
Welcome back to Sports Center in game. The Buick Halftime Report.
Some NBA now, and Charles Oakley likened the Knicks trading Patrick Ewing to dealing a trailer house for a Yugo. I don't know either. I think it means he doesn't like the trade. Raptors and the Knicks are going at it. Oakley would have a chance to make his voice heard on other matters. So would Vince Carter. Driving the baseline. Eventually, Carter knifing in there, kissing it off the window, ties the game at 75. Or Vince late in the fourth. Carter spinning, knocking down the jumper, finished with 25. Toronto up by 2. Under 10 ticks to go. Knicks down by 2. Spree had a nice game, but missed his last 3 shots. Dealt to Glenn Rice, who couldn't hit there either, and the Raptors go on to win it 79-75. Carter 25. He scored at least 20 in all 12 games this year. Spree with 20 points. Knicks 8 straight now under 90 points. In college basketball, number 2 Arizona. They had to travel back from Maui. A little fatigued for the wooden tradition. Not to take anything away from Purdue. Got 20 out of Rodney Smith to knock off Lute Olson's Wildcats. 72-69 the final in that game. Back to college football, and the proposition has been floated that Georgia Tech worries about Georgia every day, and Georgia only worries about Tech when Tech gets good. I'm guessing it's about time for Georgia to start getting worried about Georgia Tech. Down in Athens this afternoon, Dogs hopping around, but not doing much tackling. George Godsey going to keep it himself and take off. Jackets grab a 7-0 lead. Later in the first, Godsey doing what he's a little better known for, throwing the ball, although this isn't what he had in mind. Picked off by Jamie Henderson. Dogs have the ball. But Georgia would not take advantage. Corey Phillips in there for Quincy Carter, who's still ailing with that thumb, and Corey got hit right in the back. Fumble, Tech recovers. They'd score to make it 14-0 late in the second quarter. Phillips has the ball batted in the air. Darrell Smith picking it, and pick 6. Georgia Tech had a 27-3 lead. Dogs tried to rally. They got it back to 27-15, but got no closer. Georgia Tech has beaten Georgia for the 3rd straight year. First time that's happened since 61-63. Tech outrushed the Dogs 140-26 in the SEC. Tennessee and Vanderbilt at Adelphia Coliseum. Vanderbilt down 28-19, fourth quarter. Jared McGrath throw. Got loose to the outside, would get down to the 1-yard line. A couple plays later, McGrath would punch it in for Woody Woodenhopper's team. Commodores cut the deficit to 2 after the point after. Travis Henry. The Vols trying to run this thing out for them deep in the fourth quarter. At a $184, couple of touchdowns. Less than 45 ticks to go. Keep your eye on Travis Henry. Gets knocked down by Nate Morrow. Fell sort of awkwardly on his left leg. Had to be helped off the field. Vanderbilt was desperately trying to get the ball back, but they couldn't get it done. 28-26 the final. Tennessee holds on. Tennessee finishes very strongly. 8-3 now in line for a very good bowl game, and all likelihood to be headed to the Outback Bowl. Vanderbilt 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They were down 21-6, headed into the final few minutes of play. Our College Game Day crew, as you well know, having a home game this weekend, and they're back to weigh in with more. Chris?
Well, Reese, it's time to talk about our top 5s. You look at the actual polls, 130 ballots between the coaches and the AP. Oklahoma was being voted first in 127 out of the 130. They might lose a few votes. I think they'll lose some ground in the computers to Florida State. That was a dead heat coming in. You beat a 3-8 team by 5 points. You lose some ground. But what about your top 5, mister? Is there a change?
You know what? I've been fighting a good fight in Norman, Oklahoma now for many, many weeks. And, in fact, I was trying to hold up with Lee last week at his pep rally down at Tallahassee. But enough's enough right now with Oklahoma and the way they've been playing. Now, granted, they've been winning their games. But if I had to put a top 5 out there right now, the top 5 teams in order, I think the Miami Hurricanes right now are deserving of the #1 team in the country, followed by the Florida State Seminoles. And we might get a chance to see that matchup. Wouldn't that be exciting?
That'd be exciting.
Woo! Oklahoma, better regroup, boys. Better get ready to play Kansas State, or it's going to be ugly next week in the Big 12 championship game.
Yes, pep 'em up.
And then Washington, because they beat Oregon State head-to-head, headed to Pasadena. And the Beavers, we're going to see in San Diego at the Holiday Bowl, which should be exciting.
All right, here's mine. And you know what? I hate to tell you guys, it hasn't changed.
Of course.
This is the 3rd straight week that I've had these guys here. And let me tell you one point. Washington beat #2 and #5.
They're sliding down.
They're sliding down to #4 because of the way they play. Yes, I don't care if they're undefeated. They didn't play like a good team today.
I told you, we're giving them motivation for next week. If that's what they need, that's what they just got.
You give them motivation, and I'll inject some sanity. You cannot rank an undefeated team in a major conference. Yeah, they had some tough games lately, but over the body of the season, they survived.
They've looked awful.
Are they playing the best football in the country right now? No. Are they more deserving of a ranking over teams that lost the game?
No.
Yes, in my mind.
But they're not playing better than Miami or Florida
State a week ago.
Trust me on that.
The Beavers are tough.
Tired of missing important calls while you're surfing the web? Tired of calling home and getting a busy signal every time someone's online? Let's face it, some calls just can't wait. That's why you need NetSense, the Internet Call Waiting Indicator by Human Electronics. NetSense alerts you to incoming calls, then lets you take the call if you choose. When you're finished talking, NetSense gets you back online without losing your place. Easy to connect and portable, NetSense is ideal for anyone who uses the web, from students to retirees. Makes a great gift, too. A $70 value. Now get NetSense with full money-back guarantee for the special holiday price of just $49.95 complete. Order now, and we'll include a special $10 mail-in rebate coupon, so your final cost is just $39.95. That's less than 1/4 the cost of installing a second phone line, and there's no monthly service charge. So don't wait. Call toll-free today or order NetSense online and never miss another important call.
ACC finale for North Carolina State, Wake Forest, and it was not a pretty day at Carter Finley Stadium. Third quarter, 14-3, Wake had the lead. Corey Robinson was suspended for the first half by Chuck Amato. He made his presence known when he got in there. I believe, didn't Todd Christensen call that a phalanx of blockers he had? I don't know, but there were a lot of them. 61 yards for the touchdown, 32-14. North Carolina State finishes off a 7-4 season in Chuck Amato's first campaign. Syracuse exploded. This game was in doubt deep into the second half. Syracuse finishes off Rutgers 49-21 in Terry Shea's finale as head coach of the Scarlet Knights. And UNLV and San Diego State. UNLV must win this one and the next one against Hawaii to become bowl eligible. They're down by 3 to the Aztecs.
The buzz on the floor? A buying frenzy has erupted in the automotive sector. It's putting pressure on sellers and stock levels may begin to tumble. This year-end sell-off was sparked by Buick's announcement of additional holiday bonus cash, bringing the total value of cash and option package discounts on a Buick 2001 Century Special Edition to $1,500. Also adding fuel to the frenzy, consumers may be eligible for additional offers on Century. The big gainers today, the buyers.
Hurry into Sonic for a one-of-a-kind special you just can't get anywhere else. Try an extra-long coney covered with thick, meaty chili and lots of cheddar cheese, together with those hot, crispy tater tots you love, right now at a special low price.
Sonic America's driving.
For every job, there's a hard way, or there's the Dremel way. The Dremel rotary tool with right-angle attachment. Suddenly, nothing seems out of reach. For every problem, there's a Dremel solution.
Enter hallway.
In the future, students will take virtual trips through buildings that no longer exist. At Virginia Tech, it's happening now. Someday, emergency wounds will be healed in seconds with a remarkable new surgical glue. At Virginia Tech, the future is now. Virginia Tech, knowledge at work.
11 o'clock Eastern Time, Sports Center. Bill Pito and John Anderson will be your hosts. They'll have more on the Sooners' struggle and compute this. Wonder what that means. I think it means BCS. And the Hokies Swan song, SAP sounding off. All of that stuff coming, so it's the second half.
Maximus, Buttimus, Madden 2001, EA Sports, it's in the game.
Rated E for everyone.
A kick sails toward two steel poles. Why do we lean in our seats? Do we really believe we can affect the flight of a ball through sheer will? Well, if it goes through, who's to say we didn't? This is why we watch. NFL Sunday Ticket lets you flip through up to 13 channels of NFL football every Sunday on DirecTV. Never miss a moment. Order NFL Sunday Ticket now by calling 1-800-GET-SPORTS. Order.
First and goal for Miami. So Larry goes. He is at the guard. Touchdown, Miami!
Here's Walker left side. Walker, Tom Walker will score. West Virginia has done it.
Here's the snap. The kick is away. It is good! Boston College wins!
Last play of the ball game to the tight end, Brominski. He got down!
This kick is in the air. It is good! It is good! One of the greatest wins ever!
Let that celebration begin. So welcome back, 28-14. The Cavaliers jumped out on front, 14-7. And then the Hokies came back and had considerable momentum. And, Mike, you have to look at the first half and say, not only the athleticism, but the guts of Michael Vick is one of the reasons that they're leading in this football game.
Yeah, Michael Vick's really been the difference in this 28-14 football game, and he's playing on one leg. He's limping around. You can see him here as he takes the snap, the limp, and then he starts to sprint to pick up yardage. He goes airborne. He takes the hit. His helmet comes off. Then he does the same thing again to the right side. And I'm sure all the Virginia Tech coaches are worried about him. Here's Suggs coming out of the backfield. This is a play where he blocked, and Michael Vick, because he's an athlete, kept us alive. Lee Suggs never stopped on the play, and that's a good lesson for all the young kids that are watching this game tonight. You never stop on a play. You never know.
Look at this. What has happened with the wind and against the wind.
Yeah, and we've had how many? 6 touchdowns. 5 of them have been with the wind.
So it appears as though the George Welch is going to play for the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter wind.
He will take the ball and work into the wind in this third quarter. Mason. Good coverage. He will not even get back to the 20-yard line. Adrian, let's check with you.
He'll play into the wind here in the third quarter with Bryson at quarterback. Bryson Spinner's going to be the man, he says, only because the wind was blowing all week long in Charlottesville like it is here tonight in Blacksburg. Dan Ellis was not very sharp in practice this year. Granted, he had the injury. But we're going to find out right now, Ron. Interestingly enough, the wind is down as we speak. But they will have that advantage when we go to the fourth quarter.
Okay.
And the danger you take here with going into the wind that you get blown up here in the third quarter, and you're not around to live and tell about it in the fourth quarter.
Washington in motion. They roll the pocket and swing the pass out to Womack and his knee touchdown.
You can see the first quarter with the wind, Antoine Womack, and of course he broke several big runs for 120 yards in the second quarter. No factor. 1 yard. And again, adjustments by the Virginia Tech defense.
Now consider this situation here. This is what you don't want against Virginia Tech. This ball, they lost all the way back to the 9-yard line. Second down and 17. Quarterback draw. Try to play it as safe as possible, and they're just not going to go anywhere. That's Summers who will push him back. Now you got third down and very low.
Yeah, and you're in a danger period right now. Right in the third quarter, start of the third quarter, of a turnover or something going bad here, Virginia Tech can pile points up quick, and George Welsh knows Gary Tranquil is calling the plays right here. He needs a first down badly.
Receiver to either side. 2 tight ends in the ball game. Check it. 1 to the left. Spinner drills the ball incomplete. It was short. Wanted Baber, the tight end.
Into the wind again. It was short, but Bryson Spinner never sat on that football round. He never sat. He was always backpedaling.
Do you have return on here, or do you have block on here?
I think I go with the return. Here's the problems that you have had in the first half of fielding punts. And sometimes Virginia Tech will have a rush on one side and return on the other.
They almost got this one right here. Hanging spiral. This is the best kick by them tonight into the wind. Whitaker. And he's going to be down at the 50-yard line. So it's 43 on the kick and 3 on the return as Merrill Robertson makes the tackle. And a flag is down at the 46.
At
after the end of the kick, during the return by the receiving team, illegal block in the back above the waist at the spot of the foul, 10 yards, first staff.
Adrian Karsten, let's check with you again.
As Michael Vick hobbles back onto the field, just to note, he refused to take any seat in the locker room at halftime. What he wanted to do is keep moving around, stay as warm as he could, stand right in front of the furnace. Probably the best thing for him, Ron, because we have seen in the past when he got that nick in his left ankle last year, it starts to get a little bit cold. When he sits down, that's when he tightens up. Obviously, what he wants to do is control the ball, move the offense as much as he can. He didn't want to retape. He didn't want to take his shoe off, didn't want to do anything. Very tough kid, the medical staff tells me.
You know what? He doesn't have a mouthpiece. Let's see if they get a flag. Sets to throw on first down, drills the ball, has it complete, and that's Wilford. And Ernest Wilford, the big redshirt freshman out of Richmond, takes it across midfield, good for 16 yards.
Big cushion right here by Ahmad Hawkins. Ernest Wilford, who's 6'5", wide receiver, just gets nobody hurting him getting off the line of scrimmage. Big cushion for the completion.
Going to go under center this time. From the 48, gives it to Suggs. Blasts his way down inside the 45-yard line to the 44. Tweet makes the tackle for Virginia.
You know, we talked about Michael Vick a couple weeks ago because there was a report out of Atlanta radio station said he's coming back, but I'm not sure everybody feels that he's coming back here. I get the feeling that
a couple of his teammates, Mike, in the Roanoke Times this morning would not give their names, but one of them said he thought it's a done deal, and the other said that there are going to be some interesting happenings in January. And of course, that's when you have to declare.
Yeah, I hope he comes back, but
throwback screen and drop. That's about 4 tonight. Not all by Emmett Johnson, but
Next pass intended for 18, Emmett Johnson, incomplete.
No, he put so much on it. Oh, that's a hard ball to catch right there. 4 drops tonight for the Tech receivers.
Adrian Carson, let's go back to you.
Dead ahead of me on the 50-yard line. They're being as surreptitious as they possibly can. They don't even want me to raise my voice any further to get Michael Vick a trimmed mouth guard back in the game here.
Well, you know, we were talking back and forth with the truck. And what? At first, you're charged with a timeout. Isn't that right? I didn't think he'd gotten one yet. Drills the pass. That's complete to Wilford. Gets by one tackler. And he will take it down to the 27-yard line. Good for 17 yards. Spruill and Newby combining in the stop.
Now, he was real close to the sideline. Did he pick one up over there? Here's Michael Vick. Goes over the sideline. Hey, they give him the card. You know, they got the card up their sleeve.
Only you would think card.
Yeah, card up the sleeve. Yeah, they got the mouth.
From under center, hands the ball off to Ferguson. Takes it right up the middle on the belly, and he's going to go for about 5 yards.
That may have been the best play fake tonight.
Didn't fake out our camera guys.
Faked the officials out, though. That's who they had to fake out. Adrian was whispering, too.
Well, I thought he was on the 18th green.
Didn't want to speak too loud.
Second down and 6. Clock runs about to go under 11 minutes left in the third quarter. Hokies lead by 14. Safety blitz from way off the ball. Ball is drilled. Single coverage out there, and it's caught by Witten. Knocked down at the 12-yard line. Good for 12 more yards and another Hokie first down. Hawkins made the tackle, and Hawkins was the last line of defense.
When you have a blitz, and this is a wet field, and Hawkins is too far off of Sean Witten, he's giving him a lot of room, and he's able to make that catch.
Quickly back to the line of scrimmage on first down. Audible by Vick. Hands it off to Suggs. Left side. Inside the 5, 4, 3, 2-yard line. Isabel makes the stop. Isabel had 6 tackles to lead the way for the Cavaliers in the first half.
You remember when I said when Ellis came in the ball game, you never know what a quarterback's doing at the line of scrimmage. But Michael Vick will look and see whether his guard's covered by a 3 technique, which means he's outside shoulder. If it's a 2 technique, he's a head up. If it was 1, he's inside. So he's looking at the tackles and making a decision to give the ball to Suggs on the right side.
2nd down and 2 as they scrimmage from the 3-yard line. Pitches it to Suggs to the right side. Blocker in front. Will turn the corner and score the touchdown. There was Ferguson out there blocking, but he couldn't find anybody to block. Kendrick did get a piece of somebody inside. 34-14.
And that's the value of a quarterback that knows when to check off a play. Michael Vick with a toss sweep. And as you said, Ron, they get to the corner. There's nobody to block.
Extra point attempt coming. Carter Worley, redshirt freshman out of Richmond, and knocks it home. So let's take a timeout. Hokies all of a sudden have blown this one open, up by 21 points. As we take another look, this is the best play fake of the entire ball game so far. Michael gets a mouthpiece. It's a historical number.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac. I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
I'll beat you, Buddy Lee. You see what my people dancing? Yeah.
Buddy win. Excellent.
Lee Dungarees.
Play the game at buddylee.com.
It's as digital as documents get. Digital copiers, network printers, color imaging. Kyocera is where documents are going.
A Kyocera document solutions company.
It beat the S&P 500 for 1 year, for 3 years, and over the life of the fund. The Strong Growth and Income Fund. Call 1-888-2-STRONG. You're one call away from a strong portfolio.
Detroit Techno, Ford Focus.
Welcome back to Blacksburg. 35-14 now. Virginia Tech on top. A win tonight. Do they become a part of the BCS? We'll talk about that as this ball game continues in the second half. Line drive kick. It is returnable and fumbled at the 4-yard line. That's Thomas. Takes it to the right over the 20, 25, and a flag from way down deep.
That's our Thomas knocked down at the 24-yard line.
You're going to have another penalty where they're going to be deep.
Coming up next Sunday on ESPN, the College Football Tonight 2000 Bowl Selection Show at 6 Eastern. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, and Lee Corso analyze all the bowl matchups and break down the Bowl Championship Series games. Next Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And for more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the Internet.
This is another 3 and out. This could get ugly.
Well, you made the point. He had taken the return back out to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. But the block, that was bad, pushes the ball back to scrimmage at the 11-yard line. You've got a freshman quarterback against this defense, and that's just not a healthy situation. Windy and very wet as the rain continues to fall. Gives it off to Womack, and he will plow his way for 5, maybe 6 yards. And that's as good a run as he has had in a while.
And the graphic that we had on just a little bit ago, in the second quarter, he had 3 yards, Antoine Womack. And the reason for that is because once you know the quarterback's struggling into the wind, you're going to load up on the running game, and you're going to make sure Womack doesn't beat you, put the pressure on Spinner to make plays.
2 tight ends, Baber and Lazar. Womack again. Finds a hole out of the 20 to the 23, and it'll be enough for the first down, so they will move the chains as we're about to go under 9 minutes to play, third quarter.
It's a first down for the Cavaliers.
Same alignment. 2 tight ends, wide receiver to either side. Womack, the lone setback behind Spinner. He's going to try to run. He's going to be hit by Adibi. Adibi got through, also Wilkinson, and they will knock him down for a loss. And what they did not do when they led in this ball game, we talked about it. They were playing second and short, third and short.
Yeah. Now they're in long distance, Ron. But look what they think they have here. When you stop this right here, he looks like he's got the out. But number 16 right here, Corey Bird's going to get under the out. So now he can't throw the out. So he has to run the football. A little disguise by Virginia Tech, getting people under the out. Spinner thought he had it.
Second down at 15, this time from the shotgun. Pressure off the corner, pass caught by Coffey.
Spinner's pass complete to number 88, Kevin.
That's only his second catch of the night. Kevin, a senior out of East Cleveland, Ohio. Summers again makes a tackle for the Hokies, and it's going to be third down. And remember, they need to take it out to the 33-yard line to keep this drive going.
Coffey, a very dependable wide receiver.
Bud Foster, the defensive coordinator, signaling in what he wants to see in this third down play. Quick pass, got it to Coffey. Good for the first down. Out to the 38-yard line. Billy Hardy made the tackle, but that's a good job of pitch and catch there.
Yeah, that was big. And the question about Bryson Spinner, the young quarterback, when we talked to Gary Tranquil, the offensive coordinator, he said sometimes he holds onto the ball a little bit too long, but that'll come in time as he learns the quarterback position.
Virginia Tech 35-14. Virginia with their second possession offensively in the second half. Trying to get some points on the board. Spinner retreat, 7-step drop near sideline. Ball is intercepted by Hardy. And we do have a flag down that's thrown late at the 36-yard line.
I think it's going to be interference on Virginia Tech. Billy Hardy. And this is a big play here because Virginia Tech wants to get a hold of that football again. Billy McMullen, the wide receiver. See, he tried to come back for the ball. You teach your wide receivers come back. Now, he didn't come back as much as he should have.
And, of course, the wind is going to make this an underthrown ball anyway.
This is a nice drive by Virginia. Frank, he hadn't agreed with the call tonight.
Womack, the lone setback again. He'll get it right up the middle. 2 yards maybe, and that's about it. 54, Dan Wilkinson on the bottom of the stack. Also Ben Taylor, who had a very good first half.
Not a bad job by Virginia Tech's defense this year. Ron lost 8 starters on this defensive team, so got 8 new starters in a very young defensive football team. None of the front are seniors, all sophomores, juniors, and redshirt freshmen.
Second down, Spinner steps up into the pocket, drills it, has it complete. That's a nice adjustment on the ball at the 30 by Johnson. James Johnson had the ball thrown behind him, and he still was able to cradle it for 15 yards.
And you hunt, you packed a little bit to find something offensively. They found something in the short side of the field with the curl flat route, and they got the benefit of the interference call, which I believe was interference.
You know, Mike, I'm with you. I like the young quarterback. Spinner shows a lot.
He's going to be a good quarterback.
Runs the option, pitches it back, and they just got this one covered up. I mean, he was a targeted man by 3 different people. Colas and Bird were there, and actually there was a third Hokie who was coming up, but they had that one defense to the tee.
You know, well, sometimes your offensive lineman will give a play away. Brad Barnes, the right tackle, look at how far he split there. And what he does there, he gets the defense to widen a little bit, but they have a conference on Antoine Womack.
8th play. This started back at the 11-yard line. About to go under 5 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Spinner, pressure coming off the corner, gets away from it. And just going to run it. Takes it as far as he can. Davis finally shoved him out of bounds. It was Ben Taylor, number 40, who forced him.
And sometimes, Ron, you read the tackles a little bit. Now watch Brad Barnes, how deep he's got his right leg here. He's in pass protection all the way. So Virginia Tech's defense knows they got a pass play coming. Good pressure by Ben Taylor.
3rd down. Line to make is the 19.
Same thing here again with the right tackle.
From the shotgun, Spinner drills the ball. It is tipped, and that is Taylor. Ben Taylor, who got a hand on it. And Spinner took a pretty good shot. He's just now getting up back at the 40. Beasley and also Summers met together at the quarterback. So we got a field goal attempt coming up, and this is sizable. It's going to be 47 yards into this breeze. His longest is 48.
And they don't have enough players on the field. Now they get a tackle in the ball game. Got to be aware of a fake here if you're Virginia Tech.
And they're going to have to waste a timeout. Dustin Keith, they got him on the field late. And they were afraid of a 5-yard penalty. And you can see that Coach Welch is not pleased with that series of events. We'll come right back.
This one, Daddy, this one.
I don't know, honey. He's kind of expensive. Hey, what's up with this one? No one seems to want him. Oh, look, sweetie. Oh, he needs a home, honey.
Some people know when to pay a little more. The Discover card for the slightly smarter consumer.
What they want to do with this e-commerce site is just crazy.
Think of the cost.
It's not coming out of my budget.
What about hackers?
These things take time.
Months.
It's gonna crash.
We'll have it done next Friday.
Wait. Scalability. What happens if we go...
Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. And Enterprise picked her up again. She said Enterprise picks her up free. Free? Free. Now that makes renting easy.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Hurry into Sonic for a one-of-a-kind special you just can't get anywhere else. Try an extra-long coney covered with thick, meaty chili and lots of cheddar cheese, together with those hot, crispy tater tots you love, right now at a special low price.
Sonic America's driving.
And we are back. 35-14 our score. It was Virginia having to burn one of their 3 timeouts because they didn't have enough men on the field. Did not want to take a chance of getting a 5-yard penalty because this attempt is going to be 47 yards into the wind as it is. Green with the attempt. High pass. Kick is on the way. And I'll tell you, he's got the distance. Does he have the accuracy? Wide left. No good.
It all started with a bad snap.
Ryan Childress is the man who is the snapper on that team. And George is just reiterating what we just said on the air. We will take a commercial. 4:46 left, third quarter. Hokies by 21.
It's here, waiting for you. Inside is unlimited strength and power. It builds confidence and reshapes your body. It can change everything. This is Bowflex, an entire gym-in-one easy-to-use machine. So powerful, it delivers over 60 health club quality exercises with up to 410 pounds of resistance, all in the convenience of your own home. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. And you can own one with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Bowflex is real. The results are real. The question is, are you ready for Bowflex? For a free video and brochure, call or go online at bowflexdirect.com. Do the research, listen to real customers, then place your order online and get started. Bowflex. Who said change isn't easy?
Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern on NFL Countdown. Relationship between Kurt Warner and Trent Green. Who says two starting QBs can't get along? Steve McNair's maturity on the field is well documented, but it's his leadership in the locker room that spurred the Titans. And LeVar Arrington's hero is his dad. Hear their inspiring story and share a special moment with the Redskins rookie. Join me, Chris Berman, along with Tom Jackson, Sterling Sharp, Chris Mortensen, and Stuart Scott. 11 a.m. Eastern for Sunday NFL Countdown.
And we're back, 4:46 to play, third quarter. And it's Virginia Tech back on offense with the wind at their back. And we noticed during the timeout that wind has picked up again as they go straight ahead with Kendrick on the running play. He'll take it out over the 35, close to the 36-yard line. Well, we talked about at the beginning of this telecast, there are some hot rumors afloat that North Carolina is not just interested in him, but Frank may be interested in moving to Chapel Hill. What do you know about it?
Well, I think he's interested in what Virginia Tech came up with an offer yesterday, a late offer. You expected that to have already been done, but North Carolina has a $300 million capital campaign to raise money. It would help them to hire a football coach like Frank Beamer, who's coming off a national championship game last year against Florida State. He's won 9 games this year, and I think, Ron, right now that he's probably leaning toward North Carolina.
Nope, there are certainly some people who agree with you. And I know one thing, we were told that whatever happens, he wants it done quick. He doesn't want to be a long, drawn-out thing that affects either school. Kendrick again had 13 yards on the last carry, and he'll take this one down to the 45-yard line. Yesterday, we asked Frank if this would be his last game that he coaches at his alma mater, and this was his answer.
The only thing that's important is our preparation for Virginia. I think this would be a great season. If this team could go 10-1 with the guys out, with the new people we've had in there, get to Alliance game, our BCS game, to me that would be a great season for this football team. And that's all I've concentrated on this week, and that's all I'm going to concentrate on. I said all along I have no desire to leave Virginia Tech, and that's what I mean.
Kendrick bounces it to the outside. Has the first down inside the 40-yard line. Hawkins will ride him out of bounds, but that's at the 36. So obviously, and that's what I would expect him to say, not to take anything away from these kids and this ball game.
No, he doesn't. He wants to prepare for the football game. But these things came up this week because the university made an offer. Friday, I believe they issued a statement saying that they would make him a $1 million coach. And I don't think this is about the money. I really don't. You probably can laugh at that, but I think it's about other issues that are more important to him right now.
Held on to it, throws to the end zone, and just overthrown. Well executed. Everybody was strung out all over the field. First they thought the dive man had it.
Yeah.
They thought the reverse man had it.
A little too long to wait for throwing this deep ball.
Did you see
Michael Vick
gestured up at Mother Nature?
Yeah, but Cullen Hawkins, when you throw the wheel route like he was trying to throw there, you need to let go of the ball a little earlier.
And Michael looked up and thought, go away, rain and wind. Second down and 10. Under 3 minutes to play, third quarter. Suggs back in the ball game, and he will have a head of steam inside the 35 and then the 30 down to the 29-yard line.
And going back to Frank Beamer, first of all, Carl Torbush, I thought, did a good job at North Carolina. Finished very strong, but they decided to make that move. Now, if Frank leaves, how does that affect Michael Vick and Andre Davis? There's two players, and of course, they may come out anyway. So I think Frank's got some decisions to make, and I think he'll make them fairly quickly.
Suggs, 15 carries, 81 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Also caught a touchdown pass, and he's close to the first down. Donnie Green makes the tackle, number 33, the senior out of Hampton, Virginia.
Virginia Tech with a minute 57 left with this wind. They want to get one more score in there for sure.
Like to make it a 28-point margin before they have to go into the gusting wind. Crowd, as usual, wants them to go for it, and I think they were going to anyway.
I think they'll go for this. Michael Vick maybe on a quarterback sneak or give it to Suggs. You got that big offensive line run. You figure you're going to get a little movement to pick up this first down.
Suggs will come out, and number 4, Andre Kendrick, will check into the lineup. He lines up at tailback. But they go straight ahead with a quarterback sneak. Donnie Green makes the tackle.
Should have been a tip-off to Virginia when they saw Suggs go out. Then it was going to be a quarterback sneak. Nothing against Andre Kendrick, but he's 5'7", 175.
Now, we can't see the ball, but the folks on the other side can, and they don't like the spot. I can tell you from the booing that's going on right now. And they
didn't make it.
Sure doesn't look like it. And Michael Vick's trying to say, hey, get him to put the chain back there on the yard line. I have to say, that was a horrible spot.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, we have our yellow line on the field. Does he cross? Well, first of all, the balls have crossed it before.
Yeah, he goes a half yard across it, if not more. Listen to the crowd. They are really giving them what for. But for the UVA fans, standing ovation for their defense. Fakes it to Womack.
Wide open.
Got a tight end at the 45-yard line. This is Lazar. And the foot race is on. Cuts it back into the middle of the field and is going to be tackled at the 11-yard line. Eric Green.
That's a complete bust in coverage. Chris Lazar, number 81, is going to come out of here, the tight end. There's nobody on him. I mean, there's not the fans. The program seller is closer than any defender. Great effort to get to him to make the tackle. So you get a call and you have a first down. You don't make the first down. They come right back and hurt you with a tight end pass.
Foreman lines up at tailback. From the 11, they give it to Womack, right at the middle, at the 5, head of steam, touchdown. Foreman, I beg your pardon, Tyree Foreman.
Now that's a big turn of events right there. Spot on a 4th and a half a yard or a half a And Frank Beamer didn't like the spot. They come right back and score in a couple plays.
The touchdown is good. After the play, dead ball, personal foul on the defense. Half the distance assessed on the foul.
Might have been on Ben Taylor, number 46. Here's the touchdown, Antoine Womack.
No, it's Foreman.
Tyree
Foreman had
Foreman,
just come in, yeah.
With the touchdown, let's see if we can. Nope, didn't pick it up there. Penalty.
So they move it half the distance. Not that that will make a great deal of difference as Green prepares to kick the extra point. What a turn of events. Virginia Tech thought they were going to jump out to a 28-point lead with the wind. And the Cavaliers about to cut it to a 14-point margin. Good pass, and the kick is good. And with 1:08 left in the third quarter, we get a brand new situation with the Hokies on top, 35-21. Adrian, let's check with you.
Right, I'm standing by with probably the most bravest man in the stadium right now, athletic director here at Virginia Tech, Jim Weaver, only because he doesn't have an overcoat on. Jim, to the Frank Beamer situation. Yesterday, the university issued a statement claiming that you were going to offer him over $1 million to match the offer from North Carolina. What was the situation? Why offer it now? Why so late?
Well, Adrian, we've been working on $1 million plus package for Coach Beamer for some month to 6 weeks. The university president, myself, and our central administration. We put it on the table yesterday because we wanted Coach Beamer to know exactly how we felt about him and his coaching staff. In addition to that, our coaching staff currently is the 21st highest paid coaching staff in the country. They'll be the 8th highest paid coaching staff.
And it's very important to him that his whole staff be compensated as well.
No question about that. He's a team person. He's been here for a long time. We want him to be here. There are 12 to 15 guys as head coaches who make $1 million, and we believe that Frank Beamer should be one of those.
8th or 21st? Is 8th based on compensation this year or last year during the national championship season?
It's the current season.
Gotcha. Has Alabama or North Carolina or anyone else contacted him without going through you first?
Not to my knowledge, but I have not been contacted by either North Carolina or Alabama, and I would expect that if they're going to have communications with Frank Beamer, they'll extend that courtesy in our business and call me first.
Jim, final question for you. Is there a point where you, as administrator, as athletic director, would say that's as far as we can go to Frank Beamer?
Well, there is, because we only have a 56,000-seat stadium, and there are a number of other factors, but we have our package on the table for Coach Beamer and for our coaching staff.
Think about how far this program has come, Ron, since we were here 2 years ago, and Virginia came back and won that game. Obviously, last year, the national championship, and what he has done with Michael Vick. Frank Beamer, obviously, and his staff, very successful. Jim, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jim, thanks a million. Got this pass complete just across midfield. Emmett Johnson held on to that one and took a pretty good lick, but it's good for the first down.
And you have 45 seconds to throw this football, and with the wind. So I would figure they're going to open it up. They're try to take one shot, maybe deep here.
Clock runs at 34, now 33 seconds. That's what we have left in the third. They pitch it to Suggs, bobbled it for a moment, runs it back into the middle of the field, and is being pushed back after a gain of 3. That could be the last play of the third quarter. Looks as though that the Hokies are going to have to play the next 15 into the wind without getting another play off here. 9 seconds down to 8. And that'll do it. That is the end of the third quarter. And as we head to the final 15, our score, the Hokies 35 and UVA 21. We'll be right back.
The 2000 ACC Big Ten Challenge on ESPN and ESPN2.
The E-Class, perhaps the most desirable car in the world.
Love to love you, baby.
How do you know where and with whom to invest your money? What investments make sense now? Or 5, 10, even 30 years from now? Have you ever heard of AIM funds and the AIM Charter Fund? As of the most recent calendar quarter end, it has outperformed the S&P 500 for a 30-year period. So talk to your financial advisor. The idea is discipline, the purpose is performance, the name is AIM.
Can I help you?
Yeah, hi. Do you have that band I like? I was here a few years ago. I bought their last CD. I'm just looking for the new one.
Amazon.com changed the way people shop.
I'm sorry, where do I click on this to hear a sample?
HP technology makes it happen.
You know what? It's decision time.
You have to decide. Are you going to get that body in shape or just let it slide?
There's an easy way to do it. The secret is Bowflex. Bowflex is about strength training, working out to get stronger and build muscle.
You burn calories and it reshapes your body.
Over 60 different health club quality exercises, all in one easy-to-use machine.
Bowflex, it's for real.
You look great.
It actually works.
This feels great.
Hey, I'm 42, and I'm in better shape now than I was at 22.
You just feel better about yourself.
Hey, you want to lose weight?
Get the results you want. Bowflex will work.
You just have to try.
Bowflex is the only choice for home fitness.
Call now for a free video and brochure, or go online at BowflexDirect.com. Get started with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month.
Bowflex. Who says change isn't easy?
So we are back 35-21 as the Four Fingers were held high on the field and also here in the booth as we hit the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the last regular season game.
Suggs and Ferguson again line up in the eye behind Vick. They give it to Suggs, and he broke it. 35, down close to the 30-yard line. Got by the one tackler. Simmons finished him off, and Simmons was about the last guy who could have headed him off. And Suggs got up limping. In fact, is going to come to the bench. Now here's the Miller Lite storyline. Total yards, Virginia 304, Virginia Tech 387. Michael Vick, 202 passing and a touchdown. That one to Suggs. Suggs, 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 reception, and Womack 130 yards rushing. But keep in mind he had 120 at the end of the first quarter.
Well, this is big right here.
Kendrick to the 20. Reese Davis, let's check with you.
UNLV and San Diego State. Rebels had just tied it at 24. Just over a minute to go in the game. Lon Sheriff firing. Pick 6. Amar Briscoe going the other way. Now, if Vegas holds on to win this one, then beats Hawaii, they'll be bowl eligible. That could hurt the surplus teams in the Big East and ACC.
All righty, Reese.
Yeah, Arkansas didn't feel good about that play, Reese, because Arkansas became bowl eligible the other day. And, need a spot.
It's the belly. They give it off to 27. Ferguson. They fake it like they're going to throw the pitch to the tailback, put it in the belly of the fullback. Yeah, that was an extremely costly loss for LSU because most people out in the Southwest thought that LSU was going to wind up in the Cotton Bowl.
What do you think now?
No
Tennessee?
I still think we'll see Tennessee down in Tampa at the Outback against Ohio State. I don't know who the SEC team will be. From the Big 12, Texas played so well on Thursday. Could they wind up in the Cotton Bowl again? 2nd and 10. You see the blitz coming. Vick steps up, gets by his blocker. Now he's going to run it at the 10, and is going to be tackled at around the 8-yard line. And he really has an urge to hurdle over a tackler, doesn't he?
This is a courageous performance by Michael Vick. Playing hurt, he didn't want to run this football. He was looking to throw this football all the way. Steps back up, safety blitz, throwing. Now he takes off, knows that he's going to get hit. He goes up in the air, which Ricky Busso, the offensive coordinators, told him to stay on the ground, but trying to get the extra yardage.
Clark makes the stop. It is 1st and goal for Virginia Tech. Kendrick in motion. They pitch it back to Suggs. They got penetration, but he'll turn the corner. At the 5, touchdown number 4 on the night for Suggs. Sproul thought he had him, and he missed it.
9 in 2 games. 5 against Central Florida and 4 more here.
"28 touchdowns for Suggs this season."
You know, that contest you're talking about in Virginia?
Yeah.
Add some more votes.
Kick is up, knocks it home, and with 13 minutes left in the ball game, the Hokies with a new lead on the board as Suggs takes the pitch. His 3rd rushing touchdown, and he caught a touchdown pass as well.
There's a little town where people work just once a week, and all the locals know your name.
Hey, Steve. Junior. The usual? You know it.
This town's called NFL.com, and you can be there with the new Smart Visa cards with remarkable chip technology. Because with Visa, you can buy anything from NFL.com, where they don't take American Express, not even Blue.
Looking to save more and spend less this holiday season? With the Chrysler Holiday Sale, you can do just that. Because now you can save over $5,100 when you buy a new 2000 Concorde LX with 0% financing. Or choose a low $259 lease on the award-winning 2001 Sebring LX sedan. So take advantage of the Chrysler Holiday Sale today for savings that let you spend more on a real holiday priority, yourself.
You know, I've played in the U.S. and Canada, so I've got friends all over. That's why I use 10-10-220. It's only 99 cents up to 20 minutes and just 7 cents a minute after that within the U.S. or to Canada. So when I call my buddy Phelan here in the States, or my brother in Canada, it's just 99 cents all day, every day. With 10-10-220, all your calls can be under $1. Hey, little brother, go long. Falls for it every time.
Hey! Hey! So I'm trying to get financing for my startup. Me too. Really? What are you doing to make it happen? Well, I'm using the Wall Street Journal online. I'm getting ideas, you know, that sort of thing. How about you? Same stuff. Can you excuse me just a sec? Wow, I just got financing. Yeah, congratulations. Isn't that great? That's it. Your dad says hi.
Imagine what the Journal could do for you. Now, get a 30-day free trial of the Wall Street Journal online. Log on to WSJ.com now.
Virginia Tech 42-21. And a reminder, it's time for you, the viewers, to go online and help us select tonight's player of the game. And here's the list of nominees. Foreman, Woback, and Isabel for Virginia. And for Virginia Tech, Michael Vick, Lee Suggs, and Emmett Johnson. Log on to ESPN.com now. Cast your vote. We'll announce the winner later in this 4th quarter.
This is a tough vote tonight. I can see 3 guys there I would consider.
Kick into the wind. Going to be pushed down and taken at the 12-yard line. This is Mason. And he gets hammered as he crosses the 25-yard line. Adrian Karsten, let's check with you.
Hot off the Ask Adrian website, Mark Helms of Christiansburg, about 5 minutes from here, and Blacksburg wants to know, what's the Hokies zone? What's the tradition? What's the legend behind it? Well, back in 1899, when the university was low on cash and they didn't want to expand the buildings using red brick, they decided, let's go to the limestone quarry, which is where I went today. By hand, I chiseled away, Ron, and I left with a souvenir. You think Corso's got some headgear? Take a look at that one. Adrian came back with 50 pounds of Hokie stone. Take a look at after this play.
Okay. Spinner's pass. He had his tight end Baber open and comes up with the big gainer. Continue.
You think this is carry-on baggage to fit in the overhead?
Adrian, not if you're on a couple of airlines, I know.
The Hokie stuff.
Oh, I'm glad the souvenir is...
Ron, they've produced, since we were here for the Georgia Tech game that never happened because of lightning, 600 tons out of that quarry alone.
Wow. Well, I'm glad the souvenir you're taking home is the stone and not an enlarged thumb from a miss hammer. Womack in the ball game at tailback. You see the late shift by Virginia Tech, and they come off the corners. Got a man down the middle and got it at the 25-yard line. Dotson. He split the coverage and made the catch, and penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, 5 yards.
Yeah, he wasted a good play there.
Coming up on Tuesday, opening night of the ACC Big Ten Challenge presented by 989 Sports. On ESPN at 7 o'clock Eastern, it is Wake Forest battling Michigan, followed by 8th-ranked Illinois and number 1 Duke. On ESPN2, Northwestern takes on Clemson in the early game, and that one's followed by Georgia Tech at Iowa at 9:30, plus 4 more ACC and Big Ten battles on Wednesday.
Well, a big play by David Pugh, Ron, to get Antoine Womack in the backfield.
Second time that they have knocked them down for a loss.
Coming into this game, Ron, 87 tackles for losses by the Virginia Tech defense and 26 sacks. And that's an active defense that's always crossing the line of scrimmage, forcing bad plays by the offense.
Play action on second down, does not feel the pressure in time, and he's sacked by Davis. Jim Davis, a freshman out of Highland Springs, Virginia.
Yeah, he beat Jermise Jones, the left tackle. Just came around the corner. And Jim Davis with a sack, just talking about the sacks that they've had this year. Very active defense.
Third down, and they have to take it all the way to the 48-yard line of Virginia Tech. Deep over the middle, and he's got Baber. Not nearly enough for the first down, and he dropped it anyway. David Pugh with a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Late flag, Ron, here. The referee's going to make a call here late. Here's Baber over the middle. Just took his eye off the football. Tried to run too soon. I think we had a little big-time wrestling.
After the play, dead ball, personal fouls each team. They will offset at the dead ball spot, and we will go to the next down.
No, second time tonight that has happened.
Yeah.
10:40 left in our ball game.
There's pressure on Bryson Spinner, and just takes his eye off the football. Billy Baber has been a good tight end for Virginia.
Well, Abram gets to kick with the win. Whitaker, the deep man. And he doesn't get this spiral to turnover. Tried to kick it a little hard. Whitaker on the run at the 30. Backtracks, returns back to the near side of the field and ran right into Lazar. Chris Lazar, the number 2 tight end, was there to make the tackle. So it's 42 on the kick and a -8 on the return. Let's take a break. Hokies by 21 with 10:28 left in our ball game.
Place where gravity is suspended, where adrenaline overrules pain and fatigue has no bearing, where at 6'10", 250, you're often undersized. Yet it's the size of one's heart, not body, that determines his success. With NBA League Pass from DirecTV, you'll get up to 40 games a week from outside your area. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS now, and for just 4 payments of $42.25, you'll see the world's greatest athletes play the world's greatest game.
Looking to save more and spend less this holiday season? With the Chrysler Holiday Sale, you can do just that. Because now you can save over $5,100 when you buy a new 2000 Concorde LX with 0% financing. Or choose a low $289 lease on a 2001 Sebring LX Coupe. So take advantage of the Chrysler Holiday Sale today for savings that let you spend more on a real holiday priority, yourself.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Chrysler. We're reinventing the passion for driving. Welcome to cold, wet, and windy Blacksburg, Virginia. The outcome, well, it's still in doubt, but a 21-point margin. And the way the Hokies have been playing, they really took the momentum away about midway of that second quarter. And Virginia was never really able to wrestle it away from him. Kendrick, the tailback this time. They give it to him. Spins off one man, spins off a second man, and he's going to fight his way to the 27-yard line.
Another drill you do with running backs all the time. You'll send them into the line of scrimmage and keep spinning. He spun out of 2 tackles here, and he's not a big guy. Andre Kendrick, 5'7", 175, did a nice job of not letting the defensive lineman wrap him up.
Kendrick again. Kendrick, a very popular guy on his team. They sent the blitz, and they ran right into the hole of the blitz, and it was Green who ran by him. Isabel tripped him up.
At the 34-yard line. Number 30, Jordan Evans on the tackle for UVA.
Mike, I want to show you something. We talked about this when we came here for the last game. Kendrick, to me, has the smallest feet in Division I for a running back. That looks like about a size 7.5, maybe an 8. You concur? Could be a D width. I don't know. He's got 11 carries, 74 yards.
Tiny feet.
Gets it again. Fights his way maybe to the 35-yard line, close to the first down, but not from where the linesman on the near side has marked it.
Did you just happen to look at his feet one day? Or
well, I noticed when he ran on the practice field, all these other guys had big feet. And he had little feet, but he knew how to use them extremely well.
Bobby Beasley in the kick.
9 minutes and 19 seconds left of the ball game as Beasley will prepare to kick this one away.
Ahmad Hawkins deep for the Cavaliers.
Hawkins is the deep man. 5th kick of the night by Virginia Tech. The left footer knocks this, but listen to the cheer from the crowd. A spiral finally turned over into the wind, and look at the results. Inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. And now a standing ovation for a 48-yard punt into the wind. So we'll take a timeout. 42-21.
Responsive Chrysler Sebring Performance Sedan. Proof that it's not the destination. It's the drive. Now, during the Chrysler Holiday Sale, lease the Sebring LX Sedan for $259 a month.
Welcome to Transmegala, 268th floor, Information Services Division.
Yes?
We're from Luftgart. We provide enterprise IT consulting.
Tea?
ERP, CRM, and ASP management.
Cake?
24/7 apps hosting.
I already have one company for every application my division needs.
How's that possible?
I have Quest.
Communications to change everything. Ride the light. Quest.
Do the G-men have enough thunder and lightning left to sustain their drive to the NFC East title? The Giants face the Cardinals at 8:30 on ESPN Sunday Night Football. It's football after dark.
ESPN's Full Court brings you over 450 games of the top schools from the biggest conferences you won't see anywhere else. To order, call your cable company, DirecTV at 1-800-GET-SPORTS, or Dish Network at 1-800-333-DISH.
Welcome back to Blacksburg. 8 minutes and 44 seconds left in this one. And a telling stat. In the first half, the Tech defense, no tackles for a loss, no sacks. In the second half, 5 tackles for a loss and 2 sacks.
Yeah. Again, Virginia having to throw the football now.
Gets this pass complete, and that is Dotson. Demetrius Dotson, a senior out of Staten Island, New York.
Pretty good game plan by Gary Tranquil, the offensive coordinator of Virginia.
Summers made the tackle on that last play. Both players were slow to get up, and in fact now Dotson is going to lead the field, and it's Summers who also had to go to the bench. A pretty good collision there. Timeout called by Spinner. The play clock was down inside of 3 seconds, and we'll take the break with them. 42-21, Hokies on top.
Before Kurt played in the Super Bowl, he and I played in the yard. Good one. Afterwards, we'd head inside for some chunky New England clam chowder. It filled him up right, as it still does. And now it has bigger chunks of tasty clams, so it's heartier than ever. It's nice to see the things you love only get better. Ooh.
Campbell's Chunky New England Clam Chowder.
Try the new Pop Top.
Samsung joyfully introduces the world as you make it, where our digital technology has one job: to make life more fun. We want to thrill you, connect you, charm you, satisfy you, and delight you.
Everyone's invited
To the Samsung digital experience.
Well, George Welch down by 21 points, just over 8 minutes to play. Mike, what's the situation with him? He told us that, in fact, on our teleconference the other day, he said, what, this coming week that he would have something definitive.
I thought he said on Sunday or Monday that he was going to say, you know, whether he's going to return or not. And he talked about that he doesn't want to be a lame duck coach. If he's going to coach, he wants,
about that.
Yeah, he wants to be the coach. And so I'm hoping he stays on at Virginia.
Talked to Terry Holland before the game, of course, the athletic director at Virginia, and he said it's up to George. Pass a little high and off the fingertips, and we all know what can happen there, but no interception made. Lazar couldn't hold on. McAdam was the closest to it.
A lot of drop passes tonight. We talked about it in the first half, in the second half too, and Virginia Tech seemed to drop most of them in the first half. Virginia has had trouble holding on in the second half.
Glad to report that Philip Summers, who was shaken up back in the ball game for the Hokies, have not seen Dotson, with whom he collided. Under 8 minutes left in the ball game. Third down. The quick pass. Oh, he threw it way behind him. Looking for McMullen. Well, it was not accurate, but he's got a rifle when he needs to get it.
He does, and they're going to have a good battle in the spring at Virginia for who's going to be the quarterback next year.
Yeah, because Matt Schaub has played in 3 of their conference games.
And he's a freshman, 6'5", so 2 pretty good young quarterbacks.
Ooh. High driving spiral, longest kick of the night. Lost it for a moment. Now here comes Whitaker from the 16. Spins by 2 different tacklers. Tries to get it back into the boundary, and he'll pay for it there. That was a booming spiral. 53 yards in the kick and 6 on a return, and now here comes a late flag in.
They're going to tack on a penalty. Piling on.
22, Tyree Foreman on the tackle.
Well, weeknights at 8 Eastern, catch ESPN's award-winning Sports Century Series, the Top 50 and Beyond. Monday, it's Deion Sanders, the only player to ever appear in both the Super Bowl and the World Series. And an inside look into the ever-evolving life of prime time, from his days at Florida State to becoming the National Football League's first regular two-way starter in 34 years. And for more, log on to ESPN.com.
I like Deion Sanders. He's an exciting football player.
Suggs on the carry.
Suggs goes for a couple of yards. Adrian Karsten, what do you have for us?
Ron, if you're Michael Vick's mommy, you must be sitting in the front row. Brenda, hold up your sign. Your baby's back, all right. This is one of the most courageous performances we've seen out of him in a long time.
I'm very proud of him.
Playing this with injuries like this, like he's had the past couple of weeks with the ankles, I asked him yesterday what his future is going to be. Is it because of the injuries, is he going to stay at Virginia Tech, or is he going to go play on Sundays? What can you tell me?
I can't tell you anything. It's his decision. As far as I know, he's going to stay.
What would you like to see him do? Would you like to come back to the front row and watch him play at least one more year here?
Yeah, I would like to see him come back and play.
All right, now the BCS, if you understand all of this, what kind of bowl would you like to go to? What kind of climate?
I really don't understand, but as long as they go to a bowl game, it'll be fine with me.
Could be someplace down in Arizona, Ron. Time will tell.
Okay. You know, Adrian, that's one of the things I wanted to get Mike's opinion on, because I heard some word out of the Fiesta Bowl, and I'll complete this thought after they finish this third down play here. Third down, they need to take it to the 48-yard line. They give it to Suggs, and running hard, he'll have the first down. Mike, tell me if you think this theory is correct. Notre Dame won today. They'll be the team in the Fiesta Bowl.
They're definitely in the BCS.
I think that they, in the Fiesta Bowl, were a little concerned about television audience if Oregon State went. Now that Notre Dame's there, they don't have to worry about that, and I'd be surprised. There's got to be a lot of pressure coming from the West. To have a West team in that bowl game, I think that is a strike against Virginia Tech.
I agree, and I think Oregon State has had a great year. Now, I think the BCS is better than what we've had, but I think the West Coast teams suffer a little bit because they're not on TV. We don't see a lot of their games back here, the late games, and I think they suffer by some of the criteria.
Well, you're right when you look at the BCS standings. Oregon State, of course, sitting in that number 5 position, and of course Notre Dame in the number 11 spot. But
great job by Notre Dame.
Oh, Bob
Davian should get Coach of the Year votes, and Dennis Erickson should get some, and Bobby Stoops. Just a great job, but Notre Dame loses their quarterback Arnez Battle and comes through with a 9-2 season.
With a freshman, how about that? Play action, deep over the middle, and boy, he's aimed it a little too hard, and here's a late hit, and Vick is down, and it happened right in front of the Virginia Tech bench, and there's some unhappy players down there because that one from Evans came after the ball was thrown.
Here's Michael Vick on the fake, and he's got a one receiver route. He's got the fullback in the flat. He's got a trail receiver.
See, 1,001, 1,002.
Yeah, that's Boo Battle. But I think as soon as Boo Battle made that hit, Ron, he walked with his head down, and he knew he made a mistake. He wasn't trying to hurt Michael Vick, or he made a mistake, and he felt badly about it.
So the penalty stepped off because of the late hit by Battle. And the ball now at the 31-yard line. And this is Kendrick. Inside the 25, down to the 24.
Well, with 5:21, there's a lot of things going to happen here. Is Michael Vick coming back? You know, I hope so. George Welsh, is he coming back? I hope he does come back.
How long is it? Vick said he's coming back next year, but since his injury, Mike's decision may not be as clear as we once thought. Here's what he had to say.
I think I have to do some thinking. You know, there's a lot of things I think
I just have to just sit down for a while with my family and talk, you know, and think about the things that happened to me this year, you know, the serious injuries. And because my injury could have been worse, you know, it could have been, you know, a knee or anything. So I definitely have to sit down, you know, but right now I'm thinking to come back next year.
For people saying he's only a sophomore, he's a redshirt sophomore, right. So his third year in college.
I think the clearest one run is Frank Beamer. I think that...
you think he's gone, don't you?
I think it's, as of right now, I think he's leaning toward going to North Carolina. That could change in the next 24, 48 hours, but I think right now he's gone.
First and 10, the ball at the 19-yard line. Clock runs at 4:15 left in this one. And this is Ward breaking tackles inside the 15, down to the 10, close to another first down. Hawkins holding on for dear life. Wayne Ward, some of the youngsters getting to play here in a mop-up role, and they deserve to do so. Dave Meyer came into the ball game before that last play, and a standing ovation for Michael Vick as they got him out. And what a gutsy performance this evening.
Great performance, courageous, played on one ankle.
You could see Lee Suggs on the sideline. What a night he has had. 4 touchdowns, 3 running, 1 by passing. Meyer hands the ball off. Hit in the backfield is Ward, and that's Simmons who got penetration and will knock him down. He's going to be short of the first down.
And I think one of the great things in college football is the emotions on the last game your seniors are going to play. Whether you play it at home or away, it's better at home because you have the home crowd. But I watched the seniors come out, hug their moms, and kiss their moms and shake the hand of their dad, and just a very nice pregame.
There's Cadella coming off. He's one of those seniors you're talking about.
Just very nice. And for Virginia seniors, you give so much time and effort to your program and memories.
Whoa, hit at the line of scrimmage. That's Isabel. By the way, on Suggs, we saw him on the sideline. He finishes the night 116 yards, 22 carries, and 3 rushing touchdowns.
And Isabel's not through making memories. That's a great hit. Oof.
I have a feeling that Wayne Ward might be wondering, as the rain comes down very hard now, he might be wondering exactly where he is. He really
knows he's in the state of Virginia.
He got whacked head high and handed off to the fullback. And Briggs is going to take it close to the first down. And from where they've spotted it, they may have to bring in the chains on this one. Clock stop, 2:09 left to play. You know, another thing that could happen, Oklahoma didn't run away and hide from Oklahoma State today, which can happen in rivalry games. We all know that. But I wonder, with the computers, how many first place votes are going to lose and who they will go to. Will they go to Gore, or will go to either Florida State or to Miami? And you know, would Miami jump them?
I learned a new word this week, Chad. But what I was just looking at this, Kansas State still has a chance to beat Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma was worried about Oklahoma State. They're playing against them today. They practiced against them all week. While they were doing that, Kansas State was sitting at home and practicing against Oklahoma. So a big advantage for Kansas State next week.
Well, senior Dan Ellis going to come into the ball game, and he'll get a few more snaps. Womack just adding to his total. Tolis making the tackle.
You said something about Freeney a couple weeks ago or last week when we did the Syracuse game. Said you can be smart. Talk about him in the barbershop. Antoine Womack next year will be on a lot of preseason All-American teams.
He and Suggs both.
Without a doubt.
Looking deep for Coffee and can't get there in time.
Ellis's pass incomplete at the 40-yard line. Intended for number 88. Coffee incomplete. Big fans, today's U.S. Cellular Virginia.
Mike, I just want to say one thing as the clock is stopped at 1:31. we compliment these young people every week, but the conditions that this crew has worked under tonight, and we haven't lost any cameras that we know of, our monitors and everything else. And I'll tell you, this has been difficult. And to all of you, and I mean sincerely, we thank you each week. But tonight, above and beyond.
Look at those smiles. You're making their day, and they deserve it.
Womack bounced off one tackler, probably should have gone down. Then he got hit by 4 more. Butler was the man who led the second charge, though. Anyway, it doesn't go unnoticed, and without being syrupy, just want to say it's greatly appreciated.
They're the best. They're the best around right there. And you know why they're the best? They care. They have a passion.
It's a family
for college football. They have a passion. They want to do it the right way. And you've got to admire that.
Under a minute to play. And the punt very high. Fair catch is signaled for and is made at the 45-yard line. That's Parham. Well, it's time. The voting is complete, and tonight's Visa Player of the Game is selected by the fans at home on ESPN.com. Is Michael Vick, 202 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 28 yards rushing, and he received 45% of the vote.
Good choice.
Lee Suggs was a very close second.
Good choice.
Bormel comes in at tailback. Haven't seen him tonight. He gets the pitch, turns the corner, puts one move on, and then gets slammed down.
He has a clean uniform. And what's going through George Welsh's mind about this time? Did a good job in Navy, Virginia, assistant at Penn State.
20 seconds, probably the last play of the regular season for these two teams. And he will take a knee. And that'll do it. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, and the Hokies of Virginia Tech, number 5, win and win convincingly over Virginia. What will become of this man, George Welch? Will he decide to hang him up? And the man who shakes his hand and gives him a hug, what about the situation for the head coach from Virginia Tech? Will he be wearing powder blue next year? A lot of questions to be answered within the next week or so. So the final score, Virginia Tech 42 and Virginia 21. Coming up next, College Football Tonight scoreboard with Chris, Lee, and Kurt. That's followed at 11 Eastern by Sports Center. For Mike Gottfried, Adrian Carson, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Ron Franklin. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. Now, let's rejoin Chris Fowler. Chris?
Ron, thank you. Hokies win it comfortably on their home field. You might have heard the Virginia Tech band on the closing minutes of that game playing the goodbye song. No, they intended that for their arch rivals from Charlottesville. They better hope that it also doesn't apply to their head coach and also the biggest recruit they've ever had there, Michael Vick.
You know, Michael Vick tonight, with the one leg, put a spark into that Virginia Tech team. Kirk, I just wonder how good Virginia Tech would have been with a healthy Michael Vick all year, including that Miami game.
Like I said to you down in Miami, unless he could have gone both ways and played cornerback, it wouldn't have mattered if Michael Vick would have been out there playing against the Miami Hurricanes. But it was good to see him come back, and this could have been his last game. The thing to remember is, as he develops and becomes a better quarterback, next year Virginia Tech loses the entire offensive line. You have to believe that will go in to the thinking about and evaluating for Michael Vick about his future. Will he come back and try to break in a brand new offensive line? He might be skirting off to the NFL.